Clobberin time!
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger. Ready to move out.
Come get some.
It's clobberin' time! Clobberonimo!
Superman!
Oh, greetings, clobberers, clobberonimos, clobberoosties, clobberoids, clobberians, clobbologists, clobbonier, whatever kind of clobbitarians, and whatever club you do, just make sure that you bang the rocks together, guys. Hey, welcome to Clobberin' Times, issue number 444, on YouTube, on 1044 overall. Clubby's Clubhouse number 21.
We?
Wait, what happened to the we?
I don't know.
I-
There we go.
I'm sorry, I was going too fast. My apologies. It was bad. My bad.
Okay.
No, I screwed everything up.
Just
everyone.
didn't want to interrupt.
I'm sorry. I don't know what came under
Nothing
me.
to apologize for. This is your
Damn it.
show. I just didn't
No,
want to
it isn't.
interrupt.
Why boomer tonight? I didn't press play on my slideshow on the
Yeah,
YouTube
oh,
side
man,
of the
I
watch
just-
party. So
That stinks. I feel so bad for you.
That's
I'm
all
sorry
right.
that happened to you, my friend.
Oh, my timing's bad. So why shouldn't everyone else's be? All right. Well, anyway, but we got through that rough patch there. Sorry about that, everybody. But good to see you all, and I'm glad you're here. And I'm glad we're here. I'm
yeah,
glad we're glad that you're glad that you're glad that we're glad that we're all glad that we're here, and I'm glad you're all happy about it. Glad too. Did I mention that I'm glad about something or other? Mhm. So number one, hey.
Hey, how's it going?
All right, I couldn't have started any clumsier, so maybe you could start it off better by giving us some opening words, Commander.
Well, thank you so much, Captain. You know, you're not to blame. You had a big streaming day today. You were on Midnight's Edge After Dark, or was it just Midnight's Edge? And you were talking about all this stuff that's going down with Bill, with William Shatner. So I totally understand. You are a very popular guy on a lot of very popular streams. Good evening, folks. Hail to the chat. How is everyone this evening? It is so good to see you all. Tonight, we're going to talk a little bit about Blake 7. I don't think the captain has yet decided upon which comic we're going to be covering next. So it will be some Blake 7, and then likely we are going to go into the bowels of one of the biggest museums in North America. I joke, I jest, I kid. Mark D with the C's own personal museum, which always excites and astounds.
could dig something up. Yep.
I mean, we can't do a comic until we get it in your hands. So I'm deciding doesn't do anything.
I can order it.
But it's not like. But well, we'll worry about that later. I was gonna have to we got to address that.
Yeah.
Clubhouse meeting.
Yeah. So if
Yeah.
you were looking forward to a comic, I'm sorry, everyone, we don't have one tonight, but we're going to have thrills and excitement and wondrous events and conversations nevertheless. I also want to say hello to the wrenches, and I want to do a couple of personal shout outs on behalf of the channel. This is Clobby's channel, but these are great friends who work hard for him, so I like to give them a special shout out. I want to thank Lord Thoth. Lord Thoth, thank you for everything that you are doing on
Yes,
X
indeed.
for this channel. I see it. I just love you very much, and thank you for everything that you do for me behind the scenes. You are a marvelous friend. I don't know what I ever did to deserve a guy like you being my pal, but you're my pal, and I love you. And I want to thank Larry, sweetheart, Larry, a man so nice you should say his name twice, perhaps thrice. Larry, out there on his social media promoting Clobby's channel, trying to get people to come here to check it out because, you know, he's a great friend and we have a lot of fun here. I also want to thank our good friend, Chris Persia. Chris, I love you. Thank you for making these gorgeous show posters, full on advertisements that you're splashing hither and yon. You're the best, and it's just so amazing how loyal and kind you are. I also want to thank my buddy Bubba Doom, and I want to thank Wagner. Thank you so much for all the cool stuff you are creating and for spreading the word about this channel. And you know, how about Fee Fi Fo Fum? Princess Fiona, she's out there doing the same. So thank you so much, Princess Fiona. I also have to say, look, folks, I'm an author, and I've been writing in academia, like nonfiction and academic work for most of my life now. And but I never thought that I would ever return to writing science fiction. That's something that I did when I was very young. But there's no greater compliment, there's no greater achievement in my mind than the joy of entertaining intelligent, well-read, discerning human beings. And this week, JT Kirk, Scuba Pete, and Michael Beacom went out of their way to leave some pretty gosh darn sensational reviews for me out in the public sphere, where you just talked about how passionate you were about my stories and how they made you feel and how great you thought they were. And it really brought a tear to my eye. And I just want you to know that I just can't even come up with the words that are required to express my gratitude for your readership and for your friendship. So thank you. Folks, I'm a science fiction author. I write classic episodic science fiction that doesn't tell you what to do and doesn't tell you what to think. I'm not an activist, and I don't write about activism. I just write science fiction, short stories like they should be for science fiction. Well, by and large. I have some patrons, and they have brought my book over the finish line. These are the folks that pay for my advertising. These are the folks that pay for me so that I can afford to have an editor. These are the folks that make sure that I get out to conventions and I'm spreading my stories around. Without these people, I'm nothing, and I can't do what I'm doing. The corporations are just not interested. They actively ask for activists and activism, and I don't do that. So everything I owe to my readers and to my patrons. And these are some pretty gosh darn special people. And I should say, many of these people on this list don't just support me. They're out there supporting painters, artists, comic book makers, people who are inventing things, different creators on YouTube who make content for us. These people are all over making sure that the indie sphere is thriving. And these are the most marvelous humans. Larry, I love you so much. Larry! Tony Stark, Sean Carter from Mars. Penny Lane, Shooter. Pew, pew. Wagner. Dave. Chris Persia, Scuba and Leslie Pete, Eric K and his trusty dusty dog Kirby, Enigmatic Dropper, Michael and Cassandra Beacom, Mark D with a C. Damn it, Mark. Anti-Derivative Jill, Maximum Redstone, JT Cook, Dabman and the Dabman Clan, Lord and Lady Thoth, and of course Lance. Please chuck some cheese in the chat for all of the pepperonis here this evening. Rob Altus, Tyler, Jeff Wyatt, Rod Thunderheart, and of course Mazerus. If you like science fiction, and you realize we're in a science fiction dry spell, please stop by Barnes and Noble or Amazon and pick up my stories. I could sure use your support. And that's it. And I should wave hello to Mark and say, Mark, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for hosting the watch party. We love you. And Clobby, Captain, my captain, let's get it on. Let's do it.
Oh, well said as always. Number one, thank you so much for getting us going there. And Mark, any opening words before we do the show notes and the shout outs?
Well, just real quick. Yeah. Good watch party tonight. Some fun comments. And I think we got a good, pretty much always a good episode of Blake 7, right? So,
yeah.
Looking forward to that. And maybe I can pull something out of the museum to grab and show tonight. Too.
We'll think of some stuff to talk about.
We always end up.
Oh, I've got some ideas to talk. Yeah.
That's why you're the captain.
Done with our episode, we're going to talk. Well, what we'll talk about is things we can review in the future.
Oh, that's a good one too. Yeah, we could do a poll maybe.
The future, not the past. Okay. Anyway, we'll see. Polls. We'll just handle it. But you never know. Anyway, so anything to say before I get with the show notes and the shout outs?
No, just look forward to hanging out with everyone tonight and hanging out with everyone in the chat. So it's not Thursday night if it's not the clubhouse, right? Indeediousness. Well, before I shout everyone out, everybody, will start out with some show notes. Let's see. Tomorrow night on the Great J-Man's channel, 7 p.m. Eastern. That means 6 Central. It is Fearless Friday. Every Friday night, J-Man and my good buddy Sean and myself continuing our reviews of the seminal Frank Miller Daredevil run of the early 1980s into his later, of course, we'll end up with his Born Again run. So one of the greatest runs in all of comics history, and we're having a great deal reviewing it, covering it. And then a little bit later, I should be hanging out with the great 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser, my good buddy, on his channel with the Friday Night Comic Shop Boys, 8:30 Central Standard Time, talking, well, what else? Comics. I'm not sure what, if there's any topic or whatever, but we'll be there talking some comics. And then Saturday night, it's another Saturday night Star Trek. This is number 159 of that, as a matter of fact. With 4 more scintillating episodes of Star Trek Voyager Season 5, reviewed by yours truly and the most wonderful First Officer in the Fleet, Commander R.M. Briggs. And thank you all for hanging with us last week. What a great crowd. And so if you have not been there and you're a Trek fan, we have a great crowd every time. And it's so much fun. It's just a blast every Saturday night. And I thank you all for making it so, because it is you that do. I hate to use the term, but it is you that make it so. Yeah.
We had nearly 500 people, including X.
Awesome.
Didn't seem like it.
That's terrific. Yeah,
Michael.
we sure did.
Oh.
So I think we were at like 350 or 360 on YouTube, and then the rest was from X.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, all those who
spot.
joined us. We have a lot of fun. It's great stuff. And then back over, as I do 3 times a month on the Great J-Man's channel on 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 Eastern, Monday night. Oh, wait a minute. Before that, the Sunday. I forgot. Sunday Geek. Sorry, Mark.
Oh, yeah. Sunday Night Geekery.
Sunday Night Geekery on the Great Mark D with the C's channel. I don't know how I missed it. I did it.
Will you be geeking or eating?
It's going to be
both,
geekery.
Probably.
But there could be some eatery, but it's still called geekery. That's the important thing. 10 Eastern, you want to end your week as a geek. Come hang out with us.
Oh, that's a good tag.
Are you saying it's a weekender?
The whole weekend, yeah.
And yeah. So let's see. And we will take some questions later after we review. Do our Blake 7 episode review. But let me get on with these shout outs. So there we go. It is that. But yes, and they go. So again, after that Sunday night, then Monday night, 6 p.m., 7 Eastern on J-Man's channel for our weekly Legion of Superheroes review with Sean and J-Man and myself, reviewing all of Legion of Superheroes, at least all the ones that matter, silver through bronze. And then on Monday night, Mark C. Comics Talk. It's still Superman month, and this is going to be a toughie. I'm going to put out a warning right now and then later. My great friend Ace Castine and I decided to do this. We've been planning to do this for a long time.
you're going to hear a lot of anger and sadness, especially from me. This is something that really upsets me, and also that's why I haven't read this in about 30 years. And yet makes me cry too at the end. And when I reread it the other night for the first time in 30 something years, it still does. Something that means a lot to me and makes me very emotional, but we're going to tackle it because he wanted to. I asked him what he wanted to review, if he want, so he could come on. He doesn't get to come on very often. We both love Superman. We both love Superman, and it's going to be this is a toughie, but we're going to review the death of the only Superboy, a character we love a lot, that absolutely murdered for no reason by DC Comics, and very tough to deal with for both of us. But any Superman fans, we have a lot of arguments about the burn drivel and the burn years, and this is kind of the culmination of that. So that's a Monday night Mark C. Comics Talk this Monday night. It's very special.
Ace Cast Iron is a very cool person. I think that is going to be a super cool show.
Thank you. And then, of course, Tuesdays and Thursdays, always Midnight's Edge at 6 p.m. Central. And then we're going to have a wild card Wednesday night, but actually it's going to be with my great buddy Michael French from Retroblasting joining me. He's a big Superman fan. We'll talk about Superman and many other things, whatever's going on with Retroblasting, because I always love a chance to visit with my great friend Michael. Nice. And then there's a very special show on Thursday. We will have the Clubhouse as usual but we only get one February 29th every few years, of course, every 4 years. Well, we're going to have the big Superman bash. This is going to be at 4 p.m. 4 p.m. Central on Thursday. We'll still do the Clubhouse later, but this is going to be a little just for a couple of hours. It was the only time. There's no way I could do this on any other day, since we actually do have a 29th, because February 29th is the fictionalized birthday of the greatest superhero of them all, and so Minimus. And who knows whom else will be joining me to celebrate our love, as I do every February, for superhero numero uno, Superman. And we'll talk. I don't know what we'll definitely just celebrate his birthday, and his actual birthday, because like I say, every year I have to do it around his birthday, of course. But we've got a 29th, and we're going to use it. So, and then there you go.
Yeah, we got to wait 4 years for the next celebration, right?
Well, I do it anyway. I do it without it, but as far as a 29th one, yeah. So, all right, shouty outies. Let's do some shouty outies, shall we? Our wrenches get shouted out, whether they're here or not. Of course, the great Eric K., the Bronze Wrencher.
Hey.
Vindicator Wrench of the Great White North, Chris Persia. Thank you so much for all you do, buddy. D. Bud Martin, the Wrench of Iron. Lord Thoth, God of the Wrenches. Avon lives. Long live the Legion, my friend. Thank you for all you do. J-Man, the Wrench Without Fear. Partner in crime on Earth, be and legionnaire extraordinaire. Leader, Wrench beyond, Maddie's daddy. Stephen Cal, buddy. I was glad. Thanks for hanging out last night, man. I really appreciate to see you. Fanty Outsider, the Rascally Wrencher. Hungry Boy, Master of the Club, Boney. Our own Music Master, Maximum Redstone. And Triple Bullwinkle Wrench himself, Larry. And let's see who is up in you tonight. I got to run my chat back a little bit. And I will yell you all out. Of course, this is the way we roll up in here, folks. No one's going to ever change us. All right, me and my monkey. That's not me saying that for no reason. That's his name.
Ooh, that's a good name.
Monkey. That's the name for you there, and I like it. FKHC 2005. Hike.
Good evening.
Hey, Tim. Welcome. Sean Carter from Mars is here.
Sean Carter from Mars.
Yes, indeed. Dave C.
Dave.
Penny Lane.
Good evening, Penny.
What's up, Penny Lane? Vulcan, I want to say that Vulcan lives, not lies, but lives. Vulcan lives. How about that? Or it might be Vulcan lives. I'm going to say Vulcan lives. We could go as
LLAP.
Vulcan lives, indeed. Live long and prosper. Mars Monkey Max MMM.
Mars Monkey Max.
DJ Play Nice.
Rock.
Hey. Rock. Daniel Link, hello again.
Good evening, Daniel.
Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Captain Finity from Section 31. You don't exist.
Not Section 8.
Remember, it's not Section 8 either. But the thing is, remember, your existence has got to be denied. There's no Section 31, right? They deny the existence. So I'm afraid you've just named yourself out of existence, pal. Where are you? Who are you? You don't exist. All right, this name has got to, I don't know, man. I tell you what, I don't even like saying it. How dare you, Matt G? Just Taylor Swift greater than Disney, Star Wars, and MCU. I mean, yeah,
Not
I guess.
Even if you don't like Taylor Swift at this point,
yeah,
like if you're just looking at the numbers,
I guess
I think
1701.
that might be a wake-up call. I don't even think it's like an insult. I think it's it's just him like,
I know.
Geez,
Yeah, I understand it.
You know, running his cup along the cage. He's saying, "Wake up! What's going on?"
Whatever. I understand it. But 1701 text. What's up, bro?
Tax.
Adrian James.
Good evening, Adrian.
Ravenscroft.
Good evening.
Oh my goodness, the beautiful, lovely Sherry. Hey, Sherry.
Hey, nice to see you. Oh, you're changing your hair. Your hair looks so cute.
Beautiful as always, my dear. Hang on, we got more. Joe Dog, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, Joe Dog. Hang on, folks. I'll get to you. Trying to find more. The wonderful Princess Fiona.
Fee.
Hello.
Love you, Fee. Mazerus. Hey, Mazerus.
Hey, Maze. Nice to see you.
Don Ranger Power.
Don Power Ranger.
Hang on, folks. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. I'm thinking, lemon pie.
Lemon pie.
Could use some lemon pie right now. All right. So that about does it for the shouty outies. Of course, anyone who shows up will be duly shouted out because we love you. You love all you guys. Appreciate you being here with us. Anyone who is Lurk, is he here? Where? Oh, Baba Doom. How'd I miss you? I'm so sorry, Bubba. Bubba Doom, thank you. Thanks, number one. Good save there.
He can't chittity chat tonight.
That's okay.
He is working. He's lurking and working. That's but right. He wanted to let everyone know that he was. That's here.
Okay. Thank you, Bubba Doom, for being here. I appreciate it. Sorry, Bubba. I don't know. I just missed it. I'm an idiot. Bad eyesight. But thank you, Bubba Doom, for being here, buddy. And thank you all who are lurking. We really appreciate our lurkers very much. I forget to say it sometimes because I'm adult, because I'm just out of my tiny mind. But thank you, lurkers, for being here. We really appreciate you. And we also appreciate those who may be watching on a download or a rewatch or whatever you want to call it. So thank you. And I guess we could get to our first order of business. First order of beeswax. If you want to go ahead and review our episode of Black 7 tonight.
Ravenscroft. Sure. Do you want me to get you one? I can do one for you.
Wagner.
I could totally do that for you. I have to do a really good one when I've had like a really warm cup of tea, and then I could just give her, as they say in Canada.
Go for it. Yeah.
Sherry, how have you never had key lime pie? It is so good.
Even I've had it.
Oh, it's delicious. It's a little bit milder than lemon meringue pie, but it's so yummy.
I like banana cream pie better, but yeah, it's a good one.
There we go.
I like all the pie.
We're
Is
set
it
up
really
now?
like a pie I don't like? Oh yes, rhubarb. I hate rhubarb pie.
Don't rub it on man's rhubarb.
No, rhubarb. I've never had that, so I don't know. But I don't like pecan pie because there's pecans in it. So who on that? Who pull over that crap? Okay, dokely. Where we at?
Sherry, you know what else it's really good as? Ice cream. like key lime pie ice cream is bloody awesome. You know what I mean? Anyway.
Are we turning this into the foodery?
No.
Yeah.
But I mean,
We
come on.
we can.
Sherry's here.
All right. Well, here we go. Okay. Tonight's episode is, of course, Blake 7, Season 2, Episode 2. Overall, it's Episode 15. It is entitled Shadow. It is, let's see here. Sorry. Where's my writing thingy? It is
Don't get clever, Dreamhead.
It is, of course, written by the great Chris Boucher and directed by Jonathan Wright Miller.
Yeah, first episode without the Terry Nation did not write.
Yep, he did. He was involved in the writing, was Terry, but this is the first time that Chris got his name on a writing credit. So yes, who just passed like a year ago, actually. The great Chris Boucher was an excellent writer. So yes, here we go with Shadow. Shall I do it? Shall we start? Are we ready for the synopsis?
Let's go.
Quick synopsis from me, folks. Off the cuff, don't write anything down. I don't know why I even said that, but so the Blake 7 crew is headed for a place called Space City. Space City. It's right next to Spatula City. Spatula City. We sell spatulas, and that's all. No, so. And we open up with a Terra Nostra lackey called Largo, meeting up with two dreamheads, as they call them. Basically, the 1,000 years in the future of Blake 7, that is equivalent of, should I even say the word crackhead? Whatever. I'm just,
addict. Yeah.
Drug addicts, basically. Addicted to a substance that we will learn more about later called Shadow. The title of the episode, as a matter of fact. Anyway, it's a pretty sad and pathetic scene where he shows how strung out these two kids are. They pull a gun on him. They run off after they knock him out or whatever it is, or steal from him or something like that, right?
Yep, I do have a couple of clips from here, so I'm going to interrupt and just
tell me when you're ready.
Yep, here we go. Yep.
I own you, Dreamheads.
Yes,
and one more. And one more. Yep.
That wasn't the deal.
The deal was whatever I said was.
I am altering the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further.
No, Darth got on there, but
that deal got weird. I knew, that's a good one there, Fiona. She's to get the Shadow, the Supreme Headquarters Alien Defense Organization. Love it. Love it, Fiona. So, basically, we find out a little bit later that the Liberator is on its way. Blake has decided he's got a new scheme, a new plan. We learned that there is a mafia-type organization called the Terra Nostra. Very well known in the galaxy. They run Space City, as Villa, who's a criminal background, tells us. They run a lot of things throughout the galaxy. All the bad stuff going on in the galaxy is run by the Terra Nostra. And the Terra Nostra. So, and they have a big presence on Space City. We also learned that Jenna knows this creature, Largo, this rotten piece of it that we're about to see again later. So Blake's idea is to pay them off, for information. He wants to kind of like start kind of using them for info and other things, to fight the Federation. And to that end, both, Blake, Avon, and Jenna go have a meeting with Largo. She arranges it because the two of them have a history. And they're trying to talk him into setting up some sort of alliance to work with him. And of course, Largo maintains that he doesn't even know he says the Terra Nostra does not exist. They bandy back and forth. Their little negotiations go nowhere, but Largo decides to capture the three of them. In the meantime, in the beginning, Gan is totally opposed to this thing. Gan is a very straightforward, upright kind of guy. He doesn't want Blake getting in bed with a bunch of snakes, a bunch of nest of vipers, a bunch of criminals. And I love Gan's position on this. I mean, Gan is just very much, it's very like Gan, the way he would be. And he has a staunch moral opposition to what Blake is doing. Avon, not so much. Believe me, actually, Avon's probably more on Blake's side in this one a little bit, to an extent, even though he doesn't want anything to do with fighting the Federation. So that was a pretty interesting quandary in this episode. Also, all Villa cares about is going to Space City. He's had a lifelong dream of going there, always wanted to go there. And so Callie won't transport him over because Blake won't let him go. And he tries a little sneakery where he makes a deal with Orac that if he hides Orac if he hides him, he will operate the teleport to send him over to Space City, the little sneak. Well, eventually, after a while, we'll find out that Blake and crew have been captured. And Largo is probably planning to just kill them. Villa goes conspicuously missing. Callie can't find them. Largo, by the way, they also catch Gan, and he's supposed to be back up, and he gets caught too. So they're all in trouble. Largo is going to probably kill them, but he has Blake call first. He wants all that money that they tried to bribe him with, and he wants the Liberator, all this kind of stuff. And there's a really cool scene where Blake, in order to try to send like a message, to send Zen over the money. He tells them they have shuttles on board the ship. See, they don't know about the teleport system, and I love the scene where how it was so clever how Callie and Blake figure out how to pass signals, because she can't read his mind, but she can project thoughts to him. So as when Largo's trying to make a deal with Callie for their lives, they were able to pass back and forth the secret between the two, and they find out that she passes the test basically for Largo. And then I love how Callie just says, "You know what? Now that I know they're in trouble, I'll just call the station and say we'll blast your asses." Just threatens to destroy the station with the Liberator's firepower, which I thought was pretty cool. In the meantime, Villa's all wasted, drinking all kind of crap. Avon and Gan end up teaming up with the two Dreamheads. They eventually free Blake and Jenna. They all get back to the Liberator. Blake decides to take the two Dreamheads with him. They go because he needs help with them for Villa's condition, who wants to make a necklace of his teeth because Callie wants that. You did clip that one. Did you tell me you clipped that one? You there, Mark?
Oh, sorry. I was clipping something. I missed you. What'd you say?
I was wondering if you clipped when Villa asks if he could bring anything back for Callie. She goes, "Yes, a necklace with your teeth."
Maybe that's on my list. Yeah. Sorry, I was in the middle of clipping a few.
No, I got you.
So I missed you. Yep.
And so, no, I got you. Basically, okay. So basically, to sum up, let me go quicker. They end up back on the Liberator. They're really pissed off at Villa for screwing up. They can't find Orac. I don't know. I know. Oh, I just figured out another thing. I know you're already clipping, but I'll leave it because I'll be surprised. I'll let you surprise me. I just thought of another one that I know
there's some good. There's some doozies in here tonight. Yeah.
Right, there's some doozies in here. So they end up learning about Shadow and what a lot about what they don't know what the hell's going on with Orac yet, or Callie. None of them can figure them out yet, but they do decide to go to the planet where the Shadow operation, where all the Shadow is grown and harvested and all that kind of stuff. Very nice quarry area, of course. So en route there, they I don't know, wackiness ensues and stuff. They still don't know what the hell's wrong with Orac. Nevertheless, Zonda. There you go, Zonda. Well done, Max Redstone. The Blake, Avon, and Jenna teleport down to the planet. They learn about the moon discs and basically where the shadow's coming from. And while they're doing that, we're starting to find out that something's wrong with Orac, and he's basically because of Orac's carrier waves that pass through other dimensions and things like that. That some malevolent creatures on another dimension are using Callie, and some of that's not super clear in this episode. I want to make that point. Some of it's not actually super cleared up. But
how's it going M5 on us?
It's kind of not really. No, we'll get to that later. We're just going to sum up that eventually they find out that there's some very specialized presidential Federation guard on that planet. So basically, they attack Avon and the others, and of course Avon has a nice little shootout with a few of them. They finally realize that the Federation has an interest there. Basically, we learn about the moon discs, and we also learn that the Federation is controlling the shadow market and the Terra Nostra. And we find out that Callie learns that this creature is trying to communicate and use her and control her through Orac's carrier waves and stuff like that. So we get back to the ship. They determine what's going on. It's not really Orac's fault necessarily, but if Avon has to set a small little charge that, well, if his power utilization goes up beyond a certain point, he says there'll be a very satisfying mini explosion or whatever. So he sets the booby trap, basically, Orac, so he can't use the power. He can't be used again by these beings, which, again, I don't know what these beings are, and I don't think we're really ever told. We're not told what they are. And Blake basically, of course, unfortunately, the young girl Dreamhead was killed, but he leaves the other Dreamhead on the Space City, tells him he'll come back for him, tells him to go fight. Largo was killed in the process of all this. That's your basic story. I know I went all over the place with it, but I can't help it. But I wanted to get it done quick so we could just get to number one's notes, because they're going to be way better than my stuff. So there's your basic outline.
Well, that was pretty good, I thought.
Of Shadow. It was all over. It was rambling crap, to be honest. But I can take it. Number one.
Okay, well, that wasn't rambling crap. That was pretty outstanding. And I agree with many of your quasi digressions where you sort of stopped yourself. Almost all of them, especially to the degree in which you felt them. So at the outset, we know this is the Chris Boucher episode. This is his first time, riding the bike solo. And at the outset, we can tell this. We can see an obvious story shift. We have a very polished, very Shakespearean opening. This is very reminiscent of stage plays. If you're someone who attends a lot of Shakespearean events or Shakespeare festivals, I've been attending one for, I don't know, religiously, 28 years. Never miss it. Both nights, 2 different plays, 1 tragedy, 1 comedy. This is very reminiscent of these stage plays. And I really liked how we had some of like A Midsummer Night's Dream in there, where these horrible crackheads are almost fairy-like, with this slicked hair. It sort of reminds me of different depictions, like in The Tempest and so on and so forth. But just the fact that they're on the stage, that they're sort of, high and moving around while the baddie is elevated. It's just very Shakespearean, and it's really nice to see on television. At the outset of meeting Clobby, I said many times that where a lot of people see low production value, cheese, and camp, I actually see a lot of stage play. I frequent a lot of stage plays, so I find a value in this type of production that other folks don't. And I don't apologize for that. I think it's very important to get away from the television as much as you possibly can, and go and visit the real. And so this type of production should be applauded for reaching for something very Shakespearean in its appearance, in its taste and tone and delivery. I quite like it. Very admirable. I really like the idea of Space City and the fact that this is a space station, but instead of it being, you know, all clad like DS9 or clad like the Caretaker or any of these, you know, larger conceptualizations of what a space city would be like, this one is completely see-through. I love this idea. I think that this is such an incredibly cool idea. Imagine being in one of these enormous, gargantuan spheres and being able to take in almost a 360-degree, save the little pocket in which you enter these spheres, to take in the galaxy. It's great. Except for the fact that it's run by the mafia. Villa discusses the Federation's caste system or caste system. You know, depending upon where you are in the world, it's caste or caste. Anyways, a social class on Earth, and this is Federation enforced. And I found that this was quite interesting and revealing the first time around, and the second time around, it still delivers that punch, because of course we learned that Blake is from the upper or privileged class.
Alphas, yeah.
Yeah, he's not even bourgeoisie, so he's not even, you know, the sort of upper middle class dictating what the lower classes do. He's really the top class, alpha being the top or the first letter in the Greek alphabet. Well, Villa is from the Delta class, which is Alpha, Vita, Gamma, Delta is like fourth class, right? So he's underclass.
He's a fifth grade, actually. Yeah, that's right. He's called a fifth grade ignorant at one point by Avon. Yeah.
Yeah, but it is 4 by the Greek alphabet. But anyway,
gotcha.
Well, let me check because it's been like
no.
10
I'm just
years
saying
since I
Avon. No,
Alpha,
I'm
Beta,
saying
Delta. Yeah,
Avon called him that. I'm just saying Avon called him that one.
Yeah. So, this is amazing because it speaks volumes about Villa and the fact that he is this underclass and yet he's so educated. He is this expert locksmith and he can go toe to toe with Blake and even with Avon, which we'll learn later, but I'm not going to spoil anything for those who are imbibing this beautiful television show for the first time. Once again, we noticed the slight storytelling style changes. One thing that I would remark upon is that the pacing is different when Chris is at the helm, as opposed to Terry. We have very heavy and very dense dialogue now. It's not quite as snappy. It's very, very dense. I'm not saying that that's bad. Dense writing is actually a signal to the audience that you think the audience is intelligent. And
yeah, you got to pay attention watching this.
Yes. Well, it's not only that. It's the author signaling that you're smart enough and that you're tuned in enough that you can grapple with real life dialogue, not just dialogue that's meant to deliver the next plot point or the next part of the story. This is really two people going at one another in quite a vicious way, and there are some interpersonal difficulties here. And so Chris is brilliant at offering this very heavy, dense dialogue that is not.
Yeah, there's a lot of quips that you could miss if you're not paying attention.
So it's different because Terry is almost like sometimes like, I don't know, he reminds me of like listening to Hitch talk. That's what Terry Nation reminds me of. It's quick, it's snappy, and you better duck or you'll get knocked out. Whereas Chris is more engrossing. This is a philosopher who's drunk in a bar, and if you don't pay attention, you're going to find out that he skinned you alive and you didn't even notice. The crew are divided here on duplicity, drugs, and diplomacy. This is quite heavy, once again, with this dense dialogue. And duplicity, drugs, and diplomacy are at the heart of it. But what's dangerous about this is that Chris comes very close to making it seem as though there could be no cohesion in this group, because the things that they are arguing over are fundamental things that human beings aspire to, that human beings defend, that human beings use to define their very existence. These are the fibers in someone's morality, the weave in the cloak of someone's values and morals. So he takes us to a dangerous point here. I really like the argument over whether or not Aurak is sentient. I absolutely love Avon, and I love that he's just saying, no, this is T, this is the Terminator, this is the Terminator, and everyone else really wants Aurak to be Data. And so I really like that. I'm just using some cultural references to get to the point of what I'm saying without going into it too much. The singing plants for me are 100 out of 100. It really is. To go on a planet where there are singing plants and they're discs and they move about and they have this rhythm and they're completely foreign to the human mind, and yet they are so beautiful. One could imagine walking on this planet with these beautiful gargantuan spheres that are all these different shapes. They're humongous, and yet they look like flying saucers, and their stems are just these beautiful, delicate, but almost steely looking rods, almost like the antenna that was on your mom's car in the 70s. So it's just so inspiring and beautiful to watch. So my hat's off for these gorgeous singing, truly alien, foreign, mind-blasting, mind-blowing singing plants. And the farms are just outstanding. Once we add a lake to all of this, and then you have this backdrop, wow, this is 100 out of 100 for science fiction for me. This could easily be a story in itself. And I mean a written story. I could write just a story about these beautiful farms. However, now we're going to take a dark turn here, and perhaps some folks will be quite upset with me. I take a beating for my ratings, but I'm just going to stick with it. I think that there is a ridiculous amount of exposition that is required from Callie to explain this story. I just don't think that a good job was done here. We have very low cohesion in the story, too much. They try to accomplish too much. We have the mafia story, we have the drug story, we have the alien life form story, and then we have these other beings that are not even understood or explained. And so I think this one is a miss, which is quite a shame, because if we would have gotten rid of that whole thing going on with Aurak, I think this story would have been a banger. And that's all I'm going to say. Clobby, Mark?
Mark?
Oh, I thought that was very interesting. Oh yeah, I got a bunch to say and a few more clips I've been working on. So here's a couple of them.
So that is Space City, also known as the satellite of sin.
You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Sorry, I can't help it with the mashups there, but here's another one.
By whom?
Me.
It had to be someone of limited imagination.
Pick a pleasure. Any pleasure.
Welcome, Darth, by the way, and Tex. Have a great night, buddy. Thanks for being here, bro.
Take care.
Good night, Tex. Thank you so much for being here. And who else is here? I'm sorry, I didn't see.
Darth.
Darth. Good evening, Darth. Thank you so much for joining us.
And we already ran out of room on clips. I'm gonna have to maybe do a Blake 7 season 2 because we got so many good clips. And then we always have a reference for your favorite show or one of your favorite shows. Here's the Villa necklace. I gotta delete another one here.
Okay.
That's all right.
What happened?
Well, we already have 100 clips, so that's how clippable Blake 7 is. There's just so many good 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 lines, especially this episode. You can tell it's written by someone different. Here's Villa here.
Name it, and it's yours.
A necklace, Villa, made from your teeth.
He seemed like he was already drinking there. Was he under? He seemed like he was under the influence of.
Not Shadow, but
he was just drinking, I guess. Yeah, but it seemed like he was almost under the influence of something, or maybe that creature. And I agree with Raquel. There was as I was talking on the watch party, I said there's a lot going on in this episode. Maybe trying too hard. I did very much enjoy it.
Not explained.
Yeah, I did very much enjoy the episode. The creature from another dimension. That was kind of a weird. I mean, they tried to explain it in detail in the dialogue, but it just doesn't make a lot of sense in terms of why would this creature come through. Or I mean, they tried to explain it, but I would have rather just had Aurak gone crazy over some kind of HAL 9000 plot or something else going wrong. Or
I would have liked to have. Had Aurak going to war over control over Zen.
That would have been interesting, yeah.
And sort of like testing to see if he could. Oh, good night, Penny. Penny, thank you for making us a part of your nightly routine. That is so incredibly flattering, and I am just honored by your friendship and your viewership. Thank you so much for everything. Good night.
Thank you, Penny.
What was I saying? Yeah, I think that would have been interesting for us if we would have sort of, had Aurak. I don't know. I just think that it wasn't needed.
Why do you need if you've got Aurak, why do you need Zen, right? Or wouldn't Zen? You're right. Wouldn't Zen just take everything over then, or what's it's not exactly like I was thinking of the Ultimate Computer. It's not the same idea, but just in terms of a computer gone wrong or AI gone wrong, then it was explained with an alien trying to take over Aurak versus, what's the control on Aurak, or what's, how is he programmed? I mean, we had all that stuff with Google's Gemini that we're not going to get into, of course, but how it was just showing certain things.
Why not make...
All right, Finity, have a good night.
Take care, Finity.
Why not make the flowers communicate with Zen or Aurak and just leave it at that?
Right.
This whole interdimensional alien that we never meet, that we never see, that we never understand is in control, and it doesn't make any sense. What would be amazing is if these flowers had some kind of intoxicating effect on the computers. So Aurak and Zen are just completely, disabled or goofy. I don't know. Like I said, I wish that wasn't even a part of the story at all. Just leave Aurak.
You don't need it. Yeah, because what does that really add to the story, right?
It doesn't.
If you pulled that out, is anything other than Callie's journey and Callie? I guess they're building up Callie, showing how strong she is, and the idea, I guess, the part was the fighting back against the that creature. It was the the Moonstones and her work, because they're sentient, I guess. So that kind of but it was just a weird. Right. Other than that, they could have achieved that through another plot point or something else. Maybe not having to work.
John Rubus. John. Hey, John. Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Yeah, so that, but and then I do have some of the show notes from the wiki. Let me pull that up. Of course,
it was kind of a left turn.
Job. Yeah, it was. It did surprise me. Yeah, but let's see here. Let's see, where do they have their story notes? Not many here, but this is the first episode not written by Terry Nation, written by Chris Boucher. Boucher. How do you say Boucher?
I say Boucher, but
Boucher.
Couldn't it also be Boucher?
It could be Boucher, but if he's a Brit, so I don't know how he.
It's so hard to tell whether or not someone's French anymore, or which language they're from. It's difficult to say for sure, but maybe we can just go by what he wants to be called.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you know, the like
Like crispy.
Delancey. Delancey is not Delancey. He's French, right? So that would be Delancier. But whatever, you know, what do you do?
Yeah, yeah. So the next show note is Blake, Jen, and Avon wear matching light material outfits when teleporting down to Zonda, the desert planet. These are not seen again. I thought those outfits are pretty cool. I like that. I like the design of those outfits, and it
Or
made
white because it was so hot. They wouldn't want
yeah,
something.
for desert planet. It made sense, and I guess I'm assuming that the Liberator can just create, create clothes. It can create wealth, right? So I thought might have been
I don't know.
uh,
I never say why the wealth was there or how it happened.
right. You don't know, right? Or you think it could have been there, but it's
Believe me, for about over almost 40 years, I've been formulating all kinds of reasons for it in my own stupid head because they'll ever tell us.
they won't tell you,
And
right?
I have a
Yeah,
lot
was
of
it generated?
explanations inside
Yeah.
of me, but they're just me. So
And in an earlier version of the script, Callie was forced to take Shadow, which caused her telepathic and telekinetic abilities to manifest erratically. Ratings 7.6 million. Filming location Vinegar Heath Sandpits, Warren, Dorset. And I goggled that, and you can still see the sandpits. It's pretty cool. They still look like they're still in operation. That's why in the southern coast of Britain. And yeah, it looks. It did look. I have to say, for the limited budget, I thought this is one of the better looking episodes, or definitely didn't take away from how the episode was presented. The Moonstones I thought looked were pretty well done. And one of them you can kind of see the fishing line pulling the Moonstone along, but who cares, right? Back then you couldn't see it on the little TV. And of course, production errors to be added. So yeah, you see that's you can see the line. Who cares? But it's really good production values. Let's see what else they say here. They got some spoilers in the wiki, so I'm not gonna. They mention what could happen in the future, so I'm not gonna mention that. And but there was some great. I just love the dialogue in this. There's just some great lines. I didn't finish clipping everything yet, but just the insults on that Avon and Villa have going back and forth, and it's just under their breath, right? It just boom, 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 and they're going back and forth, and there's some great lines, and of course Blake or Avon, also self-deprecating humor too. He said, "She's an alien. She's more human than I am." Talking about Callie.
that's not difficult.
Yeah, that's undifficult. Yeah. So yeah, there's some great back and forth, and of course the zinger with I'm trying to clip that one too, but the zinger with at the end where of course you've got it memorized, probably tough to be you.
They're like plants. Oh, that I thought it was one that they're like plants. You have to talk to us. That's like talking to Villa. Complete waste of time.
Yep. Ouch, ouch, ouch. That's just painful. So yeah, and then the other one was depressing. Like we're all the good guys. You could be looking at them. What a
very depressing idea.
Thought. Yeah. Because you realize that the Terra Nostra or Costa Nostra, we shouldn't mention them, but they it turns out, of course, I thought that was a brilliant part of the episode was they're working both sides of the coin. The Federation and the criminal element are working together. So years ago they actually had the mafia was enlisted to help guard our ports during World War II. It's quote unquote a rumor, but I can imagine that that did happen. So the government looking the other way, versus the criminal element. So in this side, of course, the Federation is all evil, and they have no qualms about doing whatever they can to help keep control of as many planets as they can, or pushing illegal narcotics, and doesn't matter, right? It's a means to the end. So they're controlling both sides. So when the henchman and the kills his boss, I thought that was a great switch too. He's like, well, what does the guy say? He says you've got all his everything is passed on to you. Basically, you've got all his assets. I'm not remembering the quote exactly, but that was a nice camera pan down where all of a sudden, boom, like wow, that can trust no one, right? Especially can't trust the thief. So I thought that was a nice nice segue and a nice reveal. And you do feel a little bit of sympathy for the Beck
Dreamheads.
and Dreamheads a little bit. I mean,
Sure.
it's so that's written pretty well too. So I thought for a good first time out, that was a nice job in the episode. But I agree with you guys that probably that Orac subplot could have been pulled out or simplified to make the episode flow a little bit better. But overall, I really did enjoy the episode. And we get Orac operating the teleporter finally. So I did like that too. And Villa, you can't keep him away from Sin City, right? So that was fun. But and the crew dynamic too is always interesting because Blake is quote unquote the leader, but Avon's such a strong character that you always see that tension, back and forth. And Blake finally admits that I was wrong, Avon. You were right. You made the right decision. He says, "Yeah, do you want to hear it?" Yes. So that was nice character development here. So overall, I thought it was a pretty darn good episode. But there are some there's some parts of it that could be improved. But just
if any of you want to write a review and a rating, go for it right now. Whatever you feel like it. Ready. So this has never been one of my. Unless you done. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's yeah. I'm good.
By the way, you're talking about Avon and some of the banter. One of my favorite lines is, I love the dig he's at Blake's. At Blake when the force, yes, of course. Lawmakers, lawbreakers, let us fight them all. Why not? I love
that. Is a great line. Yeah.
So
it's like he always finds a way to tell Blake that it's not just that he won't turn down a fight. It's that he goes looking for a fight and that he's fighting with everyone. And that's kind of also what's going on at the ship. Everyone's fighting with everyone. They certainly are questioning one another's morals, which is not very good for morale, right?
Yeah. Another way of him telling Blake he's a fanatic, which he is.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Basically, this has never been one of my super favorites because of some of the problems that UFO illuminated. Because by the way, I love Chris Boucher's written some of my favorite episodes. I love him. He's fantastic. So in fact, he wrote my whole I think he wrote my whole top 4 or something of top 4 episodes. So he's outside of, he and Terry are the 2 top writers for this show. Who's probably worked closely with Terry he probably worked closer with Terry than anybody. And I love Robert Holmes as well, but he mostly wrote Doctor Who, but he wrote a couple of great Blake Sevens. But the point being is I have this ranked at number 34. Again, which is good. It's still that's not terrible, but I could only give it like a rating of 4.5 because of some of the, like I said, I didn't care much for the fact that we don't really get an adequate explanation of what the beings are that are using Orac, and nevertheless, it's still very entertaining. All the character stuff makes it good and entertaining and very watchable, and a lot of the concepts and stuff are excellent. But so I do like it, but it can't really go above like number 34 on my ranking. So number 1, what is your rating of Shadow?
I almost don't want to give my rating, given the way that people have been reacting to my ratings these days.
No, this is not Voyager. Please, this is different.
Fooey. We want to hear what you think.
Well, sometimes
this
I
is
think
different.
It's okay.
Yeah. Okay. We did also have a guest here who was upset that we were giving any ratings at all. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead.
No, that's too bad.
Yeah, I'm sorry, everyone. I don't want anyone to be disappointed, but this is really a 3 out of 7 for me, which is it doesn't make the grade. I don't even think he halfway gets to where he needs to go. But at the same time I'm saying that, please, I would like to put emphasis on the fact that I admire the beauty of and the mastery of adding this Shakespearean setting. I loved, please remember my comments about the space city. Please remember my comments about the cast or the case system. Please remember how much I loved the alien plants, especially the plants on the farm.
Don't worry
I think
about it.
they're amazing. But yeah, it's not a good episode. It's a 3 out of 7 for me.
Nothing wrong with that. Don't look. You got to give your honest opinions around here. You know that. Buddy.
Yep.
And by the way, this is Blake 7. Nope. Blake 7's fans are not, as far as I've ever seen, like people who might get the few people who have a problem with you expressing your opinion on Voyager. We'll talk about that later, folks. Somebody don't like our opinions, and if you don't like our opinions, well, hey, I don't know what to tell you. We're going to keep expressing.
I think that was resolved nicely by the person too.
It was by all of it. It was resolved by all of us. But point is, never worry about that. And by the way, that's not really even a terrible rating. It's not even that low comparatively speaking. But everyone here understands anyway. So, okay, so let's see. All right. One thing Fiona said I'll address is she said that Boucher, it is Boucher, I believe, but didn't know if he was going to get a chance to write another episode, so he crammed all of his ideas into this one. I don't agree with that one, Fiona, because he wrote a lot of episodes. This was his first one that he got to write, but he writes the one after this, which is one of my favorite episodes, Weapon, and he's written a lot of great ones. So, I mean, both he and Terry, and remember, Terry was still there. Terry helped him on this one. Somehow they just didn't come up with a very clear or cohesive script this time.
Just want to let Fiona know. Yeah, Fiona, Boucher is a French surname, and it means butcher. But a lot of English people say Boucher or butcher, or not butcher, but like Boucher, the way that Clobby's saying it. But yeah,
Yep.
it is a French surname, and it means butcher.
I've always heard Boucher, but you might be right.
Well, I have a French surname, and you should hear how they butcher my surname.
Look, I have no place to talk here, because I think you have all witnessed how horrible my French is. My French is hysterical. Like, my French is so bad.
Better than Poopy Stews, though.
And what's really embarrassing is that, like, I live in a country that is like that's like one of the official languages. So.
Indeed.
Yeah, my dad used to abuse me over my accent when I tried to speak French. I'm like, come on, Dad, you can't do that.
Yeah.
It's like, what about your foreign accent? You sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's like, I lost my accent many years ago. So
It's also
cracking up.
It's also the French rules. Like, you can see a name and it's like Polyev, but then you see things like fiber.
Yeah, no, that's tough.
Like,
Yeah,
what are
whenever
the
I say a
rules
name,
here?
I'm like, just say, whatever it's pronounced. Just I wish no offense to the person, always ask and get it right. But yeah, there's just multiple pronunciations of a lot of different things. So
yeah, it's all over the place. And like I said,
even people with the
Delancey
same
did that as well, right? Like, Delancey is not Delancey. He
and
is
even people with the
Delancier.
same name. I know two families, last name Mar. One family goes by Mar, and the other family goes by Mahar. So I gotta get it
head
straight.
desk.
Head desk.
So,
and they're both great families. Yep.
Before I read these reviews, do you have one?
Let me give my rating. Yeah, so I gave it a 5.5 out of 7. So yeah, as I was watching, I said, yeah, there's almost too much going on here. It's almost like we criticized some other shows for having the A, B, C, D plot. They just needed to tighten it up, but there was some great scenes in here and great dialogue and great visuals, so that helped save it. But the Callie storyline, they could have just saved that whole episode or that plot thread for another episode if they wanted to. I think they wanted to give Callie something heroic to do, but I think it was just crammed in there too much in the episode. And Villa seemed very out of character. The way he acted, he almost, but I guess maybe, well, I can't say anything about future episodes, I guess, but we'll see. But yeah, it just seemed like he's getting a hand on the writing, but it was still a good 50 minutes of TV to watch overall, despite some of the, I admit, yeah, I agree with some of those problems, but God, it's still the characters. I love those characters and that dialogue, so it's good to see that new writers got a handle on that.
Absolutely. By the way, Professor R2, welcome, and JT Kirk, welcome, both of you. Thank you for being here.
Hey guys, nice to see you. Thank you for stopping in.
So there you go. There's our ratings and everything. Let's get our friends' ratings now. Ravenscroft says gives it a 5.5 out of 7. He says we begin Boucher's vision of Blake's as, I can't believe you're saying that name. I'm not going to read the name. As murdering scumbag with good and bad implications. Does that word that actually translate that to CH, those words? Evil. So I would never compare Boucher to that person, Ravenscroft. But anyway, with good and bad implications. It does. I'm not sure what vision of Blake as. I don't think he ever envisioned Blake as. I don't know. Interesting. I'm going to have to think about that because I don't think he envisioned Blake as a Shay. But it does offer a bit more flavor, unless he said it in an interview or something like that. You can let me know, Ravens, if he did it. Like, wow. But it's possible.
Well, it does. Well, they did some dialogue about the potential effects of, getting bed with people, and are we going to become, drug pushers? I think Gann mentions that, and there's a back and forth there.
No, I understand where Ravenscroft's coming from. I don't know if he ever. I think it might be a little far considering what Shay was. Blake is nothing like that person. It does offer a bit more flavor to the Rebel myth, but it tends to color Blake in a darker tone than the season 1. I see what you're saying, Ravens. That's interesting. I don't know if it went that far. How about that? But that's interesting. We have such great. We have great. Again, I don't know if you read that from Boucher or whatever, but we have some great folks here that bring in the ideas that because I've never even thought of that about Blake. I never would have even gone there with Blake. But appreciate that, Ravenscroft. He says one reason could be that season 2 Blake has become more desperate. Now I do think he's a fanatic, but there's a difference between a fanatic and somebody like what Shay was. Become more desperate as he realizes time is not on his side. The Liberator won't last forever. Pluses, the wonderful moon discs, who I was always hoping, expecting to see more of. Great final exchange between Avon and Blake and Villa. Strong acting from all guest stars. True, right there with you. Thank you for that. Yes. Also love the fry your eyeballs. Yep. Daintily put. A bit with Jaina and Avon. Yes. And the implied question of whether Orac is more asset or danger. Yes. I'm with you there. Shadow suffers a bit from bounty syndrome. 2 compelling stories that probably deserved a full episode each. Good pernt. Very good pernt. I'm with you. The attempt to use the Terra Nostra and the possession of Orac seemed jammed into one rather hurried tale. It's full of interesting implications that need more time. I could not agree more. I really like that review. Thank you so much, Ravenscroft. I appreciate you, sir. Maximum Redstone says B+. 6.75 out of 7. 4.75 out of 7. What am I saying? Okay. We both have it. No, I don't have it 31. I have it at 34. I'm pretty sure. I got Shadow at 34, dude. Bounty's at 31. So we got it. If yours is ranked at 34, we have the same ranking. This is a fundamentally good story as well as a good balance to A and B plot lines. Blake and crew against the Federation and finding the resources. At long last, Villa engages in native debauchery. I'm glad that Raquel brought the Shakespearean aspect. I never saw that in Beck and Hannah. Never saw that in Beck and Hannah. I got you. This episode exposes many things. Blake is not a totally competent decision maker. In this regard, Avon wipes the floor with Blake. We have a tiny view onto the black market of the universe, and it's not pretty. Blake demonstrates that he is not the most caring leader. We learn about the Federation's class system, and we learn about how ORAC operates and his vulnerabilities there to Callie being trapped by the darkness via ORAC, as well-presented things to Jan, I think you meant Jan, it's not Jan, it's Jan Chapel's tremendous exposition. I could go on. Both stories need more visual production, but that ain't gonna happen. True enough, sir. I do love the extreme quotability of this episode. They did what they could with what they had, and Callie wasn't blatantly victimized like in The Web. Well said. He's got an addendum to addendum. I loved the desert outfits. Ooh la la.
Agree. Yep.
Yes, I like them too, buddy. Thank you so much. The great tobacco redstone. Well said, sir, as always. Wop on. And the wondrous Princess Fiona says, I see darkness as the mind of a black hole trapped in the dimension as the mind of a black hole trapped in the dimension of the other side of its singularity. It's trying to climb into our universe on the tendrils of ORAC's extrasensory consciousness. It deserved its own episode, but as if Balshay didn't know he was going to get a chance to write another episode, he crammed all of his ideas into this one up. Well, he got to write a bunch of them, though. The concept of the government being in charge of the underworld is another one that could have its own episode. A lot to work with there, especially with the Federation being the government in question. Indeed, I'm very picky when it comes to exposition heavy television. It's a medium that's supposed to show rather than tell. I think you mean if you're expositing, you need a good reason. I didn't see one. Sorry, it was just too heavy. Gotcha. On plot elements, still, it's much better than most things, and I appreciate wit. There was still room for character in here, and lots to think about. Addiction, manipulation, nature of crime. 5 out of 7. Thank you so much, Fiona. Oh, thank you for the super chat. The great Michael Beacom's here, folks. Michael Beacom, and shout out to the wonderful Cassandra.
Good evening,
thank you for that.
Hello, Beacom's.
Thanks for being here. Says, hi, guys, lurking tonight, but got to say hello. Well, I'm so happy you did, and thank you so much for that kind contribution. You are too kind to me, friend. You mixed numbers up. Well, how dare you, Max? Bad Max. Oh, no. Ravenscroft, I know you're not comparing him to Shea Guimar. Hey, Project Storytime, passing through. What's up, buddy? You know what, Project? It was Superman month and I thought about trying to get you to come review All-Star Superman with me, maybe soon, or maybe next Superman month if you get a chance, just because we talked about it before. Good to see you, my friend.
Thank you for joining us, Project Storytime. It's good to see you.
Indeed.
Great to see you.
No, Ravenscroft, don't misunderstand me. I was just curious. I'd never really heard that comparison made before. And I know you weren't comparing that per se, but I know where you were coming from. Don't get me wrong, but it was kind of a shock to me at first to see that name of all names brought up when we were talking about Blake 7. The character of Blake's nothing like that creature
And but I know you didn't mean to insinuate that. And so no, just it was me probably experiencing just a slight bit of, I don't know, maybe a little shocks at seeing that. And I don't take it the wrong way or as all. So no. Addendum for Princess says new grade B, 5.5 out of 7, 82 out of 100. That's a lot of gradings there. Thank you, Princess. So there we go. All in all, again, it was. I have a buddy of mine who really liked this episode. We used to talk about this episode a lot because he liked it more than me. Way back in the 80s, we used to watch it a lot. But I've always liked a lot of, again, mostly for the character and quotable stuff.
Yep. Here's the Lawbreakers quote. Oh, you want to
go ahead?
Here, let me click it. Yep.
You said persuasion wouldn't work, and it didn't. So now we use force.
Force? Yes, of course. Lawmakers, lawbreakers, let us fight them all. Why not?
I love it. That's so good. Clobby, do not forget that Project Storytime possibly dislikes P. Hard season 3 almost as much as you do. Oh man, that's my buddy right there, Claude Selling. Hey there. Well, Project, dude, we need to get together and beat up on PR season 3 one of these days, buddy. It'll be my pleasure.
Good evening, Claude.
Claude, good to see you, sir. So, well, I love that quote. Did you get the one?
Yeah, I got a few more coming.
Okay. I was thinking, should I predict them and see if you do it?
Well, I didn't
Don't
get
do
it
unless
always...
I predict it.
All right.
Okay.
Well, you were right and I was wrong.
We chose the wrong approach.
I chose the wrong approach. Does it matter?
Yes, it does.
All right, Avon, you were right and I was wrong.
That's one, but there's really one that I love. That I'll say it and let's see if you didn't quote. If you don't,
well, I'm still working. Yeah.
Okay, so okay, I won't predict it.
Well, you can say it. No, say it. I'm probably it's on my list to clip, but I was out tonight.
When Gan says, when they were looking for X's, they even tried calling out his name, and Avon said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that. It's a kind of natural stupidity that is."
I'm sorry, I missed that. It's the kind of natural stupidity no amount of training could ever hope to match.
You got it. I knew you get that.
We're in sync, yeah. And then here we go. Yep.
By whom?
Me.
It had to be someone of limited imagination.
Pick a pleasure. Any pleasure.
And of course, this is I had to go with another weird mashup, but some fans, Raquel's not going to get this one, but
well, we may not get another chance. Where is Petey?
Petey? Petey didn't even have a head.
Sorry.
hey, number one.
Yes, sir.
You want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
No,
I'm just kidding. He probably doesn't have that ready anyway, so don't worry.
I don't have it ready. Oh, I do have it. But yeah.
Do I have it? I want that one.
Poor Raquel.
Holy Mary, Mother of God.
I love that. What about your wife? Hates that one too?
My wife can't stand that movie. So yeah, if we ever get together, we'll get guys in one room to watch that.
No, I forgot to ask you if you told us. Did you watch
that? I think someone tried to get me to watch it. I watched bits and pieces, stood up and walked away from it.
Yeah.
Oh God!
It's just how some people love certain things. Some people hate
I just love that movie so much. Is there a woman that loves that movie? Let's be honest, probably not.
Probably not too many, but the funny thing is, I'm like, can we watch Dumb and Dumber tonight? Just like, I get the stare of death. Like, are you crazy? But the first time,
and let's be honest, you deserve the stare of death.
Yeah.
The first time I watched it, I literally almost passed out from laughing. I was laughing so damn hard, and more, my much better half is like, what is wrong with you? This is not funny. This is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I still remember watching that the first time. Oh God, I love that movie. But yeah, it's just an example.
Yes.
Yeah.
I bet Fiona's watched it. Fiona says, Project Swordham, if you dislike Pew Card season 3 as much as me, I'm impressed. A bunch of nonsensical garbage, plot slathered in nostalgia, but more bad Star Wars than Star Trek. I'm afraid now I must insist, Fiona, that you marry me.
Well, no one here actually dislikes P. Hard as much as I do, because I actually haven't watched it. That's how much I hate it.
But if you had, then you'd have to marry me too. Because I'm sorry, anyone who had, because you would hate it, so you would be forced to marry me.
It's
that was the interesting thing.
Insane.
I couldn't understand how many people love that season 3, and
it's just
you know, I mean, the story is not good. I mean, it's radically different from the first 2 seasons, but it's not a good story. I mean, you get the member berries, and you know, you get some cool, you get the crew together. That's what they should have done in the first season. That's what they should have done in the Star Wars sequels, which they never did.
Yeah.
But
anyway,
enough on that stuff.
That's enough of that.
Enough of that.
So, we'd much rather talk about Dumb and Dumber. No, just kidding.
No, you would. No, you would.
I think we need to play that again. I think we need to play that again.
Well, we may not get another chance. Where is Petey?
Petey? Petey didn't even have a head.
Sorry, whenever I hear Petey,
you had Petey, you had to think. I knew you would think.
Raquel just.
Why did I know you were going to think of that?
Raquel, you don't know what Petey is, but they're.
Don't tell her.
They have a. Well, Petey's his bird. Let's just say his bird, and the bird has a slight.
Don't tell her that.
Slight miss. I'm just saying a slight mishap. So he gives the bird to the blind kid that lives in the building, and he fixed it though. He fixed it though. So everything was okay. You gave him Petey.
Oh my God. Lord help me, Jesus.
Are you killing me? Oh fuck.
That's exactly what I hear whenever you guys bring this up. I hear is it Chris Christopherson? Why me, Lord? That song. Next line. What did I ever do? Do you know what I mean? Lord help me, Jesus.
This is why we have the best crew ever, because everyone's talking bad about PR season 3. My kind of guys. There you go. Anyway, all right. So we've done our Blink 7, and next week's episode will be one of my favorites. Spoiler alert, so I'm not supposed to say what I think about it. But Weapon, also written by Chris Belcher. So, and oh my God, Raquel's gonna be naughty next week on this episode, and we know why.
What do we got?
You were gonna be naughty. Oh my God. You know why? Because who's coming back. You know who's coming back. You know who's back. There you go.
Yes, of course.
Elvis Travis. Travis Mark II.
Travis Mark II, yep.
Michael Beacom says, Raquel, I despise every frame of Dumb and Dumber myself. If the aliens come in wrath, spreading destruction, and we ask why, if they respond with screenshots from that movie, we deserved it.
Sapphirus, what's up? How dare you, Michael Beacom? That is the movie's the greatest movie ever made.
I love you, Michael Beacom.
Even the Ferrari brothers have made funnier movies than that, but it is fun.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah. You can't dislike a movie that has the most annoying sound in the world.
Oh my God, please.
I don't have it. Oh God, I wish I. What I thought I had that.
We do have it. Yeah, we do have it. We do have it.
Me, Jesus.
No, we're not going to do it.
We're not going to do it. No.
Why me, Lord?
No.
Or when they get the chili, when he eats the hot chili and then he dies.
You can just imagine what would happen when those two morons eat chili. So it's just like, bodily functions, just humor from.
Right. No,
Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world? Guys!
Do you realize how close I was to pressing that button and you did it?
Well, in other news today, we did land on the moon today. So for the first time since 1972. Yeah, we had
true. That's right.
Yeah. Yep.
Do it. I'm sorry. Go back.
Go back.
This is true. This happened. Oh my God.
This happened today. Yeah.
I forgot you were setting it up.
Yeah, here we go. Yep. Where is it? Yep.
That's great. We landed on the moon!
I'm sorry, everybody. It's Mark's fault.
It is Mark's fault.
It is my fault.
It's Mark's
Yes.
damn fault.
It's in my
I'll tell you-
contract.
Since it's Superman month, we'll play something nice for a change.
Superman.
What
We
if
can talk.
You guys realize that you're killing Ravenscroft and Michael Beacom, right?
Yes.
You're killing my friends.
Oh, Max Redstone said he wanted to hear something too. So there we go.
Crazy. Everything that guy just says is bullshit. Thank you.
Well, we could talk about the spacecraft that landed on the moon for a few minutes.
Crap.
Wow, is it that bad just because it landed on the moon? Oh,
No, Zathras is here.
yeah. We said, yep. But let me ask you: is Zathras here, or is
He is.
Zathras here, or is Zathras here? Which one is here, Zathras, or is it Zathras, or is Zathras here? Did he say?
Brain, what is brain?
No. I don't know. And by the way, I need to answer Ravenscroft something because he asked earlier. He asked, have you introduced Raquel to any of the works of Alan Moore? Raquel's not much of a comics type, so it's superhero stuff. She wouldn't like that kind of thing. To answer your questions, Ravenscroft, she's read some Star Trek comics, though, has you not? And we'll do some more of those soon.
I never read any comics before I met Clobby. Well, I read some, like
when you were
I
a
was
kid, right?
but they weren't real comics, right?
They were real.
Like we would be on a gig in a small town, and we'd be allowed to go into the 5 and Dime, and we could get things, or we could go into the used clothing store and go and buy things. And they used to have used Archies.
Archies? Those are comics.
Yeah, and there were a couple other times when I got something other than Archies, but yeah, and I read them. But I mean, I was quite little. I think it was like the really super old, the ones that were like books.
Yeah, they're little digests that have comics in them. Yeah, I used to collect those all the
They
time.
were very thick and very tiny.
Mm-hmm. Now the little thick ones that were tiny were called Big Little books. Were they like little books that were with art in them? Like
those are great to read.
Illustrated stories.
I had Big Little books that I got from the used clothing store, and I had digests from the 5 and Dime in these little every little town that my family ever played in. I grew up in a family of professional musicians. Any town we ever stopped in, we either went and picked up some pop bottles and returned them so we had some money, or we were given some money and we would go into the 5 and Dime or in there and we would get a few things.
You know who collected Big Little books? And has a big collection of them? With Walter Koenig. He was a huge fan of this. He bought comics as well, but he was a buddy of mine went to some con like in the mid 80s because we already knew he was into Big Little books. And the first issue of Judge Dredd printed over here. It was a British comic. They did a Judge Dredd volume in America that was a reprints of those with a nice color reprints. And he happened to have that in his hand. And when he went to see Walter Koenig, he says, "Where'd you get that?" I said, "It was one of the tables that just came out." He goes, "Could you go get me one?" Yeah. So he loved comics and he collected Big Little books.
That's great. Yep.
Big Little books. I mean, that was not. They're expensive. I only have one. I have the Fantastic Four.
They're expensive now, or
yes. Well, probably now they are, but because they stopped printing those here in the early 70s, probably. And I have the Fantastic Four when they did. But Big Little books are very rare now.
Yeah. Well, before you used to be able to get them at the 5 and Dime, and Zathras is asking, "What's a 5 and Dime?" Well, you have to remember that Canada is a Commonwealth country, so all of these little tiny like variety stores, like sometimes they were even like bodegas. They're like La Petite Dep, like little tiny stores owned by local people, and in the stores they could have any manner of things that you would need. So before there was ever anything like 7-Eleven or Red Rooster or anything like that. So before there was ever a dollar store or a convenience store. There was well, you could have a convenience store, but the thing is that the five and dime also tried to pull you in by offering things that you could get at Boots, or offer you things that you could get at Woodward's and things like that. So they would have like drugstore items and little toys, and sometimes they would have like grab bags and things like that. And if you went outside and you picked up a few pop bottles off the street, if you could find one or two, or on the highway, you could take them in. They would give you the deposit back on the pop bottles, and you could get a little grab bag, or you could get like, one of my standout memories is we were in one very small town, I think in British Columbia, when we were doing a lot of gigs outside of the city. And I picked up a little family of turtles, little plastic turtles. So yeah, so like a pound store, but a five and dime once Commonwealth. Anyway. I hope that explains it. All the Canadians know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So, well, this was interesting, as you know, if you're a space nerd or geek. So I can't believe it's true yet. We haven't landed a craft on the moon since 1972. And the important thing about going to the southern part of the moon is that's believed to be where the ice is and water. And of course, if you've got water and H2O, hydrogen, fuel, and so it's critical for ever going to go to Mars and beyond. So here's a picture from Odysseus moonlander that's in orbit. They had a kind of a rocky landing, as I was reading. I think that one of their guidance systems went out, a laser guidance system, so they had to circle the moon an extra time and go to a different guidance system. And it's very difficult to land on that southern part of the moon because of the topography. It's very not as flat, and of course if you're the angle of the sun too, they said, if you're trying to land there, makes it much more difficult because of the shadows. So so this is really interesting. And getting back to the moon, I was talking about the other night, I've started watching For All Mankind, which is the Apple TV show where the space race doesn't end. The Soviets actually get to the moon first, about a couple months or a month before we do with Apollo 11, and it's a big scandal, and it affects the national zeitgeist. And I've only gotten through, I think, about 8 episodes, but it's been pretty damn good so far. And the course of history has changed. So the space race never, like I said, the space race never ends. So at one point, they're building bases on I've gotten to the point where they built a base on the moon. So they're up to Apollo. That's a minor spoiler, but up to Apollo 25. So, but you can see what would have happened if that space race had kept going. And then you've got the Soviets and the U.S. going back and forth. So I don't know if anyone's watched For All Mankind in the chat, or I'm just debating whether or not you would like it, Raquel. You might like it. It's although it is Ronald Moore, but he did do a pretty good job with Battlestar Galactica.
I don't mind Ronald D. Moore. The only time I get really super angry with Ronald D. Moore is when he says bad things about Gene Roddenberry, when he says bad things about Star Trek. Then I lose my SHIT, and then people are like, "Oh, she hates Ronald D. Moore," but it's not that. It's just like, dude, get my hero's name out of your mouth. Okay?
No, I understand. Yeah.
Stop talking about it, because without him, you would be nothing. Literally nothing. Less than nothing.
He certainly wouldn't have made it into got the name for himself that allowed him to move on to a lot of other things.
Yeah.
No question about that. I saw Maximum Redstone. I did not see that. I love her. She was great in a couple of Doctor Who's there. The lady who she mentioned, we were talking about Chris Boucher tonight. She was in Robots of Death when he wrote. And so, which I'll talk about next week. Rachel Jensen. Damn. One of my favorite episodes, Remembrance of the Daleks. Dang it. Well, like Star Trek people, Doctor Who people, so many who have been on even just a few episodes here and there just passed away.
Rabid fans.
Yeah, so this is the show. It's not from Earth to Moon is an awesome show, but this is For All Mankind. So it's Apple TV show. Unfortunately, only on the Apples.
Oh, only on Apple.
That's right.
They've ruined Foundation. I tried to watch Foundation. I'm like, what in the holy HE double hockey sticks is this? And I just had to shut it off because it was not even slightly like the book. The books.
I heard about that. You said they screwed that up bad. Huh?
Mm-hmm. It was terrible.
Oh man!
A lot of people saying this is best sci-fi of its era. Wired. I mean, but a lot of people are giving it good reviews.
International Space Station in the theater, and it was bloody awful.
Really?
I saw it. Andrew took me on date night, and we saw that
movie?
one.
International Space Station.
International Space Station.
Is that new?
Yeah, it's brand new. It's a movie. It's a science fiction movie.
Okay. I don't think I heard of that.
Man.
I don't heard.
Wow.
Heard of that.
Kind.
Romankind. I've heard about this. So you have Apple?
Yeah. Yeah, it's on Apple, but R&B was saying it was fantastic, and a couple of
Well, what does that mean?
Well,
sorry, but he's not.
Okay.
I don't have anything against him personally, but he's just not a tastemaker for me. Like when I think of a tastemaker, that's not the name that pops.
Well, I liked it, so that should tell something to you.
Yeah,
to you.
I trust you.
So far, my better half, we've been enjoying it too, because I'm like, let me pick a show with some sciencey stuff in it.
But number one, I don't think you should trust him anymore. He does like Dumb and Dumber. So say
but you do too.
Yeah, but
he's
I don't want
soft.
to. I don't want him to trust me either.
Mark is like you and I, except for Mark's just a little softer. He's
should,
just softer around the edges. And
you shouldn't trust me either. By the way, I'm just saying.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes you're good.
We're both wrong about every damn thing. Let's just be honest.
No, you're not. I don't think there is a right or wrong.
No. Well, we wouldn't give you a bum steer, but sometimes you're going to get that. Like they say, this never. That's why. And all kidding aside, that's why I have been, if not completely teetotaler, kind of always reluctant to recommend things.
Mm-hmm.
But still, you got to do it sometimes.
Yeah, that happens with friends. Yeah, you're like, you're going to love this, Mark.
Yeah, I wouldn't know about Blake 7 if it weren't for you. I wouldn't know.
You really hate it. You're just lying to me all the time. They're liking it. Just saying that.
No, I absolutely love Blake 7, and I also wouldn't know about The Prisoner. And I think The Prisoner is absolutely sensational. I think it's beautiful.
Well, wait, that's one thing that still blows me away, because we've talked about this before. Not having watched something is one thing, but not even having heard of them, that just, and you've explained why, obviously, adequately explained why, but it's still like, man, there's a lot of things I haven't watched that I've heard of, and you tell me you hadn't heard of them. I'm like, wow. I mean, and because again, I know you don't travel in geek circles that much, but
I don't.
I mean, I guess that makes sense. That's where it's anecdotal. You think it just to you it's commonplace, so everyone else it should be commonplace. Well, that's not necessarily everyone's experience. So that but it just shows how wrapped up in myself I am when I go, how could you have never heard of The Prisoner? Well, because you don't do the same things that geek asses like me do. That's just it.
Well, we have lots of things in common. Like you know what I mean? Like you're a geek who reads. Not a lot of geeks do. Like a lot of people have written quite a lot about, how many geeks, not all, but many, will watch a film, then they'll go to a bookstore, they'll buy the book, and they'll say, oh, that was a great book. But then, we find out through studies that, anywhere from 60 all the way up to 80+% of people are lying about the books that they've read. And they actually just see the films and then they say, oh yeah, I've read that book. So you are a reader. So that's cool that you're actually a reader and you don't pretend to read, which is one thing that I totally love about you. And yeah, we do have lots in common. I mean, there have been a couple of things that you've suggested that I have not liked. And I was shocked.
And you know what? I've learned about you, by the way. Not sorry to cut you off. Oh, look, I have that one.
I was going to ask, is this what you got?
Yes, sir. No, it's interesting about that, though. Number one, I'm sorry to cut you off, but it's now that I know you better, I would never have recommended Eureka to you if I knew you as well as when I did do that.
Mm-hmm.
Believe me or not, because that was before, if you think about it, before we got into reviewing a lot of those Deep Space Nines with all the romance horse shit.
Yeah.
And I realized, because I really do like Eureka, but it is filled with all that romance crap and all that,
You're a very romantic Southern gentleman. You're a tough guy. You're a big pile of rocks, but you don't mind the male
if the show's good, I don't mind it.
perspective of romance. Yeah.
But let's face it. Let's just be honest about something. This was a show that was made in the 2000s. In the 60s, it was easy. In Star Trek, they were not under any pressure to make shows like they in the original series. No one even formatted shows that way. In other words, to have all about their personal lives and their interpersonal relations.
That's the way it is now, yeah.
That, by the time, to be fair to Deep Space Nine or to Voyager, TV was totally like that, especially going into the 90s. And they decided to just glom onto that. They didn't have to, but they did. And we both, I think we're both of the mind of this. That's a little bit, too much. I don't mind it sometimes if it's not the whole thing, but I can watch a soap opera anywhere. Why do I want to see my science fiction bogged down in it?
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't want to watch a soap opera either. So, but by the way, our Professor R2 said something funny. Number one, he says, "I love The Prisoner. My wife doesn't get it. When I was married, when I first discovered The Prisoner." And by the way, welcome Tetrarch of Apathy.
So apathetic. And did we say hello to Oliver Belamonte?
Oh, Oliver, what's up?
Did we say hi?
What's up?
Yeah.
But my then wife hated it, and I met grand total before I met you, like one woman that liked The Prisoner, that I got hooked on it. And she was ran some fan club down here, whatever. But every other, you didn't hear a lot of women liking The Prisoner.
I've never, I like, people look at me like a lunatic when I tell them about UFO.
So most people probably don't know what it is.
Well, yeah, and once I start explaining it to them, they think I'm bat shite crazy. Like they think I'm a loon. Yeah, and so what can you do, right? It's like it's niche stuff, but yeah, like I've even had people like walk up to me at conventions and things like that, and they always say to me, like, why don't you write a book? And I was like, I always say to them, well, yeah, I can write a book. I mean, I do have a book in my back pocket. It just needs some finishing, but I don't really enjoy writing or like writing books. I really like in science fiction. I really, really enjoy short stories because it helps you to stay focused on these ideas. And it's so funny because I was reading a threaded conversation amongst some of the biggest people in publishing today. And it was on the internet, and they were all speaking with one another. And the person sounded like my echo, and it really freaked me out. I forget what this person's name was, but this person is very high up in publishing, and just said, yeah, remember when science fiction was focused on ideas? It's not doing that anymore. And I was like, oh my God, like, have you been listening to our show? Yeah, for me, like whenever I give a talk or when I'm speaking or when I do a public appearance or people ask me about writing or people ask me about science fiction, that's one thing I always tell them, that I just want to explore the technology, the science, the ideas, the futurism. I don't want to explore tingly naughty bits. And that's usually how they stretch a story out. It's just like, okay, they have this idea and they're like, okay, I want to turn this into a slim novel. So let's do this. Let's make, this guy interested in this lady or this personal struggle. And for me, I just think, especially now in our society, we are inundated by technology, and technology really needs a lot of discussion, and we're not discussing it anymore. So yeah, I love all the idea stuff. Grim.
Grim. Yeah, like Black Mirror. Well, there was a new season of Black Mirror. I don't think it got much talk, but at least we had that show dealing with technology sort of recently. And then you had suggested another show to me that I watched. What was it?
It's the greatest.
An anthology.
It is the greatest assembly of short stories, but I don't think it's an anthology. I think it's all Philip K. Dick, and it's called Electric Dreams.
Yeah. And I love that.
It is so sexy.
Thank you for remembering.
And beautiful, and just, it's just so gorgeous.
What was that on? Was that on Showtime or something? Or
I don't know. In Canada, I watched it on Netflix, but I was like, "Oh my god,
Yeah,
what is
you did
happening
make it
to
to
my
Netflix.
brain?"
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
did make it to Netflix. Yeah, but that didn't last that long. I think.
Hey,
It was only-
Grim.
Hey, Graham.
Yeah, I think it lasted. Let's see how many episodes. What did we get? Oh, 10. Only 10 episodes. That's right. Yep.
I love seeing these little,
Yeah, Bryan
big
Cranston.
little book here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
the-
they always leave you wanting more. Like when you watch something like Electric Dreams, you're just like, "Oh my god, why is this over? I don't want this to be over. I want this to go on forever." And it's just, yeah. Anyway, Philip K. Dick, he did such like they used his stories for that, and it was just so expertly done. I think didn't Ronald D. Moore do the didn't he do Electric Dreams? I think he read
see, I got
Philip
it
K.
open now.
Dick's stories, chose the short
Yeah,
stories,
he was the
and then
executive
produced it.
producer. Yep.
Yeah.
Bryan Cranston was involved as well, or as an actor. But yeah, it was Ronald D. Moore. Yep. So it only lasted that one season. So it was Channel 4 in UK and Amazon Prime Video. But maybe they had a deal for that to go to Netflix. But yeah, it was Amazon Prime actually.
See,
Yeah.
I'm a weirdo. Like I would totally watch Tales of Tomorrow, The Twilight Zone, The Outer Limits, Electric Dreams.
Love them.
I would watch all of that and I wouldn't need any other TV. Well, I would like Star Trek to come back, but those people can't live forever and there's only one true Star Trek, right? Like of course I support the 735, but there's only one true Star Trek, but those people, unfortunately, they can't live forever. Oh, good night, Max. Maximum Redstone.
Good, dude.
Off to Helen Moraine land, yeah.
Man. So this was
Is this the only Big Little book that has the FF?
the only one I have. Yeah, I think it's the only FF one. Yeah, beautiful.
And then, now, is this something that Kirby did just for the book? Or,
he didn't do it. That's Herb Trimpe art. They told him to draw it like
Trimpe?
Kirby because he was too busy. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think some dude named like William Johnston, whatever the hell he was, Johnson, wrote it. But
it looks just like Kirby to me. Yeah.
Well, yeah, Trimpe's first jobs, he was told to draw like Kirby. So,
well, he did a good job of that.
He did. He looks fairly. I mean, you could tell it. I could tell it's Trimpe, but I mean, I could also tell he's aping Kirby. So that's pretty cool stuff. So,
yep.
Yeah. But
well, the little big books are, what are they called?
Big Little books. Is that like what you're talking about? Yeah, that size.
Okay, so all right. So look, leave it on this page, please. I 100% read Goofy Giant Trouble. I 100% read Roadrunner, the Super Beat Catcher. Journey to the Center of the Earth. Yep, definitely. But a lot of the Scrooge McDuck, a lot of the like that. No Mickey Mouse. And definitely Journey to the Center of the Earth, and definitely a few of the Roadrunner ones.
Nice. They did a Chitty Chitty Bang Bang when I had that one.
Yeah, I didn't read
Love
that.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Yep.
I love that movie. We loved that movie when we were kids.
Oh, that movie.
Yeah, that's a good film.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Great stuff. And
I haven't watched it in a long time.
But this is the only of the Big Little books I ever had, obviously. And I still have it actually. I could pick this up on my somewhere. I'll see it on my shelf. But yeah, so cool stuff. And so they had those up there in Canada. Eh? Cool.
They did, yeah, at the Five and Dime and
I can't
at the used clothing store. And before they weren't called Goodwill. I forget what they were called, but there were a couple of Salvation Army places you could go. But a lot of the used clothing stores before and the used shops, the secondhand shops, they were all individually owned, like really like corporatized the way they are now, where it's like some big corporate entity in Australia, like Value Village.
Right.
Hey,
yes.
Polonaise Minion!
The Polonaise Minion.
The pepperoni. We gotta get him a gavel, a Polonaise Minion.
I need a gavel. Yes, I just mentioned that earlier when we first started talking about these Professors R2. Yes, Walter Koenig collects them. He has all of them. And I can't remember how many they made. I think he has all of them by now because he was collecting them in the 70s and the 80s, I think. One of the times when we met him, we talked about it. Yeah. So, Mr. Chikov and
And this is the
Vester.
latest from Apollo's minion who's here.
Holy cow! That's beautiful. Oh my god.
Isn't that amazing? Yep.
It's gonna be humongous.
So I gotta
The thing's like 4
send your
feet.
address to her. Yep. No,
Yeah.
it's amazing. Yeah, look
Beautiful.
how big that is. Yeah.
Hey, SP4H.
Hey, SP. Good to see you. Thank you for being here.
Hey, thanks for the private messages today, SP4H. I really appreciated it.
Tending to a puking daughter. Oh my goodness. Well, Professor.
Oh no.
I hope she feels better. Keep on tending there, man.
I hope the doctor shows up. What is the nature of your medical emergency? Hope she feels better soon.
Take the nature of a medical emergency. I went to lunch with an old friend of mine I hadn't seen in a long time. We were talking about Voyager. He likes the show a lot, but he loves the doctor. And we have, of course, the argument that he thinks that's the best doctor in all of Trek, and I had to set him straight. I had to say, look, I like him too. We all think he's great, but I have him in third place. I said, I'll allow you to have him in second place. If you're listening there, buddy, hey, I'll allow you to have him in second place. That's fair enough, but there's no better doctor.
Who's you like Phlox?
Phlox is number
2?
1, and I kind of lean towards Phlox. I mean, I can see picking either one, Phlox or the doc.
Yeah.
Which one? But nobody's above Bones. It's just not anymore.
No, you can't. Yeah, no, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
But the doctor is my high point of Voyager, despite
yes,
the gorgeousness of 7 of 9. But yeah, he's
Rob
he's
Picardo
his national treasure. Yeah, he's just great.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that show. I've got to catch up to my all the books I have on Voyager, but I wonder if his character was meant to be as big as it became, or if it was just.
Don't know that, but I'll tell you this: he's still the second greatest hologram character I've ever enjoyed in the show.
Oh,
I think Rimmer's a greater character.
Oh, Rimmer. Oh, you're talking other series. Yeah.
Arnold Judas Rimmer in all of TV. Yeah, and that's how good those two characters are.
I just got to answer Chris here really quick. Sorry to interrupt. Chris, now you're really taking me back. St. Vincent de Paul's was basically like a staple of my childhood. That's where we got most of our clothes and anything we needed. You go to St. Vincent de Paul's, St. Vinny's, right? Anyway, Chris, you're really taking me back now, and I love it. And yes, we definitely had a St. Vincent de Paul's, but I don't think we have them here anymore. At least the location where we used to shop it isn't there anymore.
No, Chris, I'm not arguing with that. I mean, I think I'd probably put Phlox at 2, but I can understand the case being made for the doc because Picardo is terrific. So I told him, I said, look, as your captain, I will not allow you to have any doctors above McCoy, even though he doesn't.
Them as fighting words.
Even though he's younger and he's a fan of others, he's a big TOS fan. I said, I just won't allow that as your captain. However, if you want to have Picardo at number 2, I'll allow it. And of course, he was laughing at me, saying, like I'm the boss of him or something.
For me, it's got to be like McCoy first and always. And then I think it's got to be like Boyce and then Phlox. But I go back and forth as to whether or not.
I do love Boyce, yeah. But
yeah, so for me,
he's not really on. We only get that one episode, right? So
yeah, but it's the cage, and so like for me, it has a massive impact because of course,
I didn't think about him. I got to admit, but I think I love him to death. I mean,
yeah, I absolutely love Boyce, but I love Phlox, but McCoy is number 1. But I don't think I would put. I don't know, like. Look, Pulaski is awesome. Zathras.
There's no shame in putting the Picardo doc at number 2, though. But I hear you.
I'm a doctor, not a bricklayer.
You're a healer. There's a patient.
You forgot you cut off Kirk saying that's an order.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Really, I try to keep him.
Hey, Courtney.
Hey, Courtney. Good evening.
I'm just messing
with
you.
Hey, we love you too. Look at this beautiful woman just walks through the door and says that she loves everyone. Like, what a beautiful person. Good evening. Thank you. You're like sunshine. You just beamed your sunshine into this room. You're the best.
Oliver says, Poo-Poo Stewart face is going to be Han Horde with a television show wussy. Award of the year, award for being a crappy piece of poo-poo captaining poo-poo for Star Trek, the Clubberin, and P. Hard at the 61st
IGC Publicus Publi Awards on March 8th. There you go, Oliver. Thank you.
I have received some feedback that there are a small group of people. There is a small group of people who don't appreciate the following, but I'm just going to do it anyway.
Hey, if you respond to them, especially a tiny minority over everybody else who's fine with it, then you're going to drive yourself crazy.
I know.
Yeah, yeah.
And by the
Just
way,
gotta keep going.
again, kudos to that person for apologizing and being and standing up and being cool. So being nice. So we're all Trek here. So if someone comes along and buries the hatchet and goes with the friendship route, then we should too. And by the way, keep going all you want. And those you don't like it, the only thing I can tell you,
he give you a raspberry
is
Hey, Jim boy, y'all ever have a real cold Georgia style mint julep, huh?
Where's McCoy?
He went off to create something called a mint julep.
yes.
All of those men are literally some of the sexiest men that have ever lived. How was Jackson DeForest Kelly ever real? How about Leonard Nimoy? I love Bill. These men are delicious men.
Not exactly the word I would use. RR, TNZ.
Hey, RR, TNZ.
Good to see you. It says, driving home from work, great to see Kirk and the boys are goofing off again. Yes. Well, they're all trying to impress Uhura there. She's not having any of it, though. She said, no, you guys are my team, my shipmates. I'm not into you. So,
yeah, me too, Chris. I could go for a nice ice cold mint julep now.
Julep. I'd never had one.
I've never had one either. Well, maybe I have. What's in a mint julep again? I forget.
Maybe mint.
Mint and juleps.
And juleps.
No, mint julep.
Well, what is a julep? I guess it's water with mint and juleps in it.
No, it's a mint julep is. Let me just go look. I hate
it's a
looking
drink
things up when we're on air.
Kentucky Derby. It's the favorite drink there. I think it's bourbon.
It must be bourbon. I mean, it's the South, so it's got to be.
Yeah, I think it's bourbon.
A Georgia style. No, would you like to see how fast I could put you in a hospital? So there you go.
Oh, they're even discussing in this article what is the difference between a mojito and a mint julep. They are both delicious minty cocktails, but mojitos are made with rum and contain lime juice, while a mint julep is made with bourbon and only requires simple syrup and mint.
Bourbon, bourbon, mint, and other stuff. There you go. So does that mean if Robbie the robot got drunk on mint juleps? There was no mint in there, but he did drink bourbon.
Yeah,
Kentucky bourbon. Yeah. Look. In Kentucky, our mint julep is legendary. I think it tastes like Klondike bar. Whoa, I'll take one. Remember Robbie the robot got drunk on bourbon?
Yes. yes.
No, he didn't really get drunk, but he did drink a lot of it.
What is that drink that I'm trying to remember that I always have when I go to the Southern restaurant here?
They have a Southern restaurant up there?
Yeah, we have a Southern restaurant up here, and I get, what is it? It's something.
Well, mojito's Cuban. I love mojitos, but that's a
Cuban that's drink. What I drank in Cuba. They were delicious. No, this is a Southern drink, and I just absolutely love it. I can't remember the name of it.
Me either, Professor. R2. I've never taken one. Never indulged ever in my life. So far,
I've been known to make a very
sweet tea, yes.
some good cocktails. Yep.
Sweet tea and
Long
cherry
Island
Coke, my limit.
Yeah, Long Island iced tea is one of my favorites. Yeah.
Well, it's iced tea. I love iced tea as well.
Yeah.
I went through a period of my life where I thought that I might be able to keep up with normal people as they have a few cocktails, and I learned the hard way that I am not someone who can drink alcohol. Neither one of my parents drank alcohol at all. So like I have zero alcohol tolerance. I'm not an adult. I'm drunk off of one drink. I have to wait around
Same
for 8
here.
hours to have the second drink. And so like I'm not one of those people like when when you go to a concert or something and people are having 2 or 3 glasses of champagne or insane. They're like drinking scotch from a glass. I just look at them like, you know what? I'm never going to be able to do that. I will die. Like I will die. If I ever tried to do that, I would die. My body just goes, alcohol? Nope.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad too, despite my girth. I'm a total lightweight. I haven't been drinking much lately. Once in a while I'll have a drink here or there. I've never been a big drinker, but I always would make some really good mixed drinks or banana daiquiri was my specialty to make during the summer, and those came out good if you hit it just right, or a pineapple daiquiri. But it's got to be nice and warm outside to drink.
What
one
about
of those.
Sorry and Brandy?
I don't have any Sorry and Brandy though.
Well,
no.
I got a friend of mine has that big Sorry and Brandy bottle that Kirk has.
Yeah, he bought that.
A friend of mine has that bottle. he doesn't even drink, but he has the bottle.
That was a real bottle that they took that from. Yeah.
You could get that Sunplug.
And I believe they also got it at a secondhand store. So a production person was sent out, I believe, according to the block text, and found that at a secondhand store that was just up the road a piece. And they brought it back, and bingo, bammo, whammo, you're good to go.
Yeah,
and everyone's talking in the chat about how they're not heavy drinkers. Yeah, for most of my life, I weighed under 100 pounds, and it's just genetic.
Wow.
So there's absolutely no way I could ever have more than that.
I weighed 100 pounds in first grade, I think.
Oh my God, get out of here.
It's like, no, like that. What, fourth grade, maybe third grade? Yeah.
Yeah, when I was a kid, my nickname was Bones.
I probably weighed that when I was born. I'm just
yeah.
Well, let's see here. Speaking of the block tests, friggin' Minimus has been driving me crazy trying to give that to me. He has like a book. Every now and he gets a book. Says, I got this book, and it's got millions of things. You want it? I don't care. I have nowhere to put anything anymore.
Why would you not take the block text? Do you have any idea how much that's worth right now?
But I'm not going to sell it. So what do I care what it's worth?
But
you've already read it. You've already read it to me online.
So. I did read it to you.
I mean, I wouldn't mind. I mean, I've not. You know what I'm saying? I have no room for anything. I mean, I can't make him or anyone understand it. It's always nagging me to take it. It's being nice, so you can have it. But why don't you keep it? And you've got all this other. Why would it be the one book you don't want to keep? I don't even understand it. But if he's hearing me, sorry, dude.
That book is like $200 in Canada now.
Well, he should sell it if you don't want it. But the point is, he wants to find somebody to give it to. And I'm like, don't go. I didn't. If I do it was that much, go sell it. But point being is, it will sit with a bunch of other crap that has no shelf space, that has nowhere to put it. I've got this table now in my living room I put, every time I get something, I just throw it on there. Now I would need like 15 archaeologists to dig down to the bottom of it. So they could date, they have to carbon date how old the crap is on the damn table. Like, man, because I have nowhere to put stuff anymore. So why get more? I've literally had to almost, even when I can't really afford much anyway, but sometimes when there's just some new trade paperback I can find, unless it's dirt cheap, or a hardcover or a nice omnibus I would like to have, or even some figure now, I start to do it. So yeah, even I can get that, I guess. And then I go, no, because you can have nowhere to put it. Nowhere. It's out of space, baby. To like find someone to do it, it's just terrible. So
I don't feel it, unfortunately. Yep.
But you're way worse than me because you still do stuff.
And
I
have the room. I have the room for it too. Unfortunately,
I've never felt the need to collect. And I think
it's not good. You don't want to.
The burden of collecting is not only being able to keep things in pristine condition, because basically your house becomes a mini museum, but it's also the amount of space it takes. So I all of my Star Trek stuff that I do have that I love, I keep it confined to my office. So like the glasses or the lunch boxes or the things that I get as presents from people. Books, of course, they can go wherever. But if it's merch, or props or things like that, it has to stay in my office because I could really get away on myself. I mean, my family room, I've asked my husband a couple of times if we could turn it into the bridge. And he said, are we really those people? But I mean, I have the actual movie size posters of the films and, and different things all around the house, which I don't mind because remember, I've told you guys that Canada's kind of weird. Like Canada, I know being an international traveler, I know that it is unusual that we have these extensive basements and that we renovate them and make them very high end. And for many of us, the basement becomes either the family room or at my house, it becomes like a pub. So it's it has a pool table. It has all of my Star Trek stuff up on the walls. It's where it's where the audio is for the movie theater experience. So yeah, so I would very easily make all of that space into geek stuff. So thank God I'm a nerd because I would ruin my life if I were a geek. My house would be full.
I wish
I'm no comment, no comment, and no comment.
Hey, Empress NM and a new person I've never seen before, Low Rent Dad. Hello, Low Rent Dad.
And Dalu. Hello.
Yeah, and Dalu. Hello there. Welcome.
Good evening, one and all. Great to see you here.
But I think of that line by William Shatner in Free Enterprise when was it the guy playing Robert Burnett said to him, he said, you could just stay at home and drink. He goes, and Shatner said, that's called alcoholism. There's a rom-com you do need to watch because that's full with geek speak and nerd speak and Trek speak.
Great.
Never tell you that. I want to ask R&B about that story where he, there's a line in that movie where she said something. He's arguing with his girlfriend. She's something up. You need to stop living in the 24th century. He says, I would never live in the 24th century. Only the original. He says, I effing hate the next generation. Only the original series. Only classic.
Yeah.
And he said, but anyway, that's in the movie, right? And he said when they have the premiere for the movie, he said Rick Berman and some of those other people who make at the time were producing the Trek shows showed up.
Oh God, they said something about that.
He said, he felt he was embarrassed. I thought, wow, this is the guys who produced it. But yeah,
that was a great line though.
Yeah, it was.
So Low Rent Dad is saying that he just got through with Comics Division, and I just wanted to give a shout out to Comics Division.
Hey.
He's a sweetheart of a guy and a good friend to
Yes,
one and all.
Comics Division.
So haven't been over there for quite a while, but I just wanted to wave hello to our friend.
Comics Division, our buddies Nick and a lot of our wonderful friends over there, no doubt tonight. So, we love those guys over there. A lot of great fellers, and he has a great channel and cool stuff.
Chris has to leave. Sadly, I must bid you adieu. Time for nightly battle with the Sandman. Clobber on everyone. Chris Persia, I love you. I want you to sleep sweet. Good night. Thank you for everything.
Clobber on, buddy. One thing we could cover here, since we should cover, unless you got something else, Mark.
Well, I did get something in the mail today, but we can do that after.
No, do this first. Then we'll try to decide what next to review. Either whether it might take us a bit to get whatever comics we need to review in Mikkel's hands. So, in addition to a Blake 7 next week, you guys want to review? It could be something shorter, like it could be like a movie. We'll think of something. But first, what did you need to show us?
Oh, well,
Let me go grab
can I
it.
interject before Mark begins because I don't want to interrupt him. So I just want to mention a couple of things. I don't mind if anyone wants to ask me later when Mark is finished what I thought of International Space Station or ISS. We could talk about that and maybe Mark could bring that up on the screen. And I also know that Larry, and a couple of other people in the chat. I don't know if you've been reading the chat tonight, boss man, Captain, my captain, but they would like to hear a little bit more on what I was talking about earlier about Bill's comic.
Yes.
And I think that they, moreover, not only do they want me to qualify this whole thing, but I think they would like to hear your thoughts on it and you know, what Bill has gotten himself involved with, why it's exploding all over Instagram and making its way onto X. So those are a couple of things too, boss, that you might want to think about
All
doing
right.
before we leave.
Just remind me. And then, but everyone, if you have any questions for us, put the letter Q up there and then ask it, so we'll know we can save it for when we're able to get to it. If you have any questions, just any questions at all, since we've got a few more minutes. I mean, in fact, number one, this is a chance, since we don't have as much to do. I know number one, you know, has a limited time, so we'll stay on for as long as she's willing. You want to stay on a little bit longer?
I have until 11, so I have like 40 minutes.
Okay. So anyone who has any questions at all for any one of us, please ask. And thank you, RRTNZ, for the super chat. You're too kind. Says,
oh, wow.
Film question for everyone. Just rewatched 2001.
Okay.
Was blown away by its production design.
Yeah.
You can see its huge influence on Star Wars and all sci-fi film. Unbelievable. Yes. It was made in 1968. Thoughts?
Oh.
Number one, what are your thoughts on 2001?
Beautiful, wonderful, amazing. You know, it's really about, I like cerebral science fiction. And so when things move slowly and thoughtfully, it really puts you in a physical place and a state of mind. So it's like your body has to slow down to process. Your mind has to slow down and process. And it puts you in a mood to be receptive to what it would actually be like. It's not all pew pew, space battles. It is about those quiet moments, the contemplation, the reflection, the aesthetic, the bigger questions. And I mean, come on, it's so beautiful. But I'm actually at a point in my life where when I watched 2001, I just drool all over the furniture. Like the furniture is so sexy. Like I've actually looked up the people who are remaking the furniture. Do you know that those chairs are going for 10 grand each? Anyway, I would RRTNZ, if my husband would allow me to, I would turn my entire front room, like my receiving room, and that's different than a living room in the United States. It's like my front room. Anyway, my front room, I would totally turn it 2001. I would 100% do it because I'm that ridiculous. And anyway, thank you for the question, Clobby.
Oh, well, of course, it's been quite some time since I've watched it, but it's extraordinary, of course. Just a tour de force of brilliant visuals and wonderful music, of course. It's a science fiction masterpiece. And it's been so long since I've watched it. It's probably due for big time due for another rewatch. And I might add, you don't hear much about it, but I actually really like 2010, the film from 1984, that a lot of people just ignore because of the enormity of this one is and it is bigger, obviously. But I actually like the second film as well. And of course, the novelization, not so much. Well, of course, the original book was called The Century, right? And in the books, of course, as well. Well, two of them anyway. So yes, great film. Mark.
Emperor's NM. I'm sorry, honey. I'm afraid I can't let you do that.
Don't, Dave. I'm losing my mind. Agreed, Mars Monkey Max. I like that movie.
Mars Monkey Max, I love you. And guess who's here? Sander!
Where? Oh, Sander Hammerslag. Hey, good to see you there. By the way, number one, did you see 2010?
I believe I did, yes.
I like that movie. It was a lot of fun. It was more of a conventional science fiction film, but a really good one, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so Mark.
Your microphone isn't working, buddy.
No microphone, bud.
Come in, Mark. Earth to Mark. Mark, come in.
Oh, no.
Well, while he's doing that, I'll answer.
Is that working now?
Oh, hello. Hello.
Hold on. Change that microphone setting. Who did that? Now can you hear me with the headphone?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Hello? Is this thing on?
Is this thing on? Yeah. You
Hey,
got
Mark,
me?
welcome back. You were making your own silent film. What is your response to Oliver Belafonte?
Well, as I said, which no one heard, I think this is one of the greatest pieces of cinema in history. Very groundbreaking, and the realism is just phenomenal. The futurism is just fantastic, and yeah, you're right about the furniture. And Kubrick, I think, had most of the stuff destroyed. He didn't want anyone copying it, so I think there's one or two spacesuits that survived. I think he had all the furniture destroyed. So that's that mid-century that's very much in vogue again.
You know the
And
weird
everyone,
chair, the weird
yep,
orange and not just the orange chairs, but the red chairs.
the red
Oh,
chairs, yeah,
if you
yeah, on the
go,
space station.
oh, if you go and look them up, there are people who are making them, but they are
Oh yeah,
$10,000 each.
yeah, it ain't cheap. It ain't cheap. So yeah, it's the unbelievable how groundbreaking that movie was and how grounded in science. And of course, yeah, they don't get everything 100% right, I'm sure, but it follows that whole uh, throughout the movie. It's consistent in terms of the realism, and they got the space station that's revolving, so you can have the artificial gravity. They predict the video phone, which people have been talking about. You actually have a video phone there. Maybe I think it's Pan Am in that movie. Of course, Pan Am is out of business, but the amazing scene where you've got the shuttlecraft coming
Yeah.
in, spinning in
There's
sync
a.
with the
Do you
space
know there was
station.
an Aurora model kit of that?
I wish I had
The
that.
other day we were reviewing on J-Man. We were reviewing those old comics, and we were in 1968 on our Legion reviews, and one of those comics had an ad. It was for the Pan Am.
Oh, for the Pan Am, for
Beautiful
this, yeah.
model, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's Pan Am there. Let me get the light a little bit.
For the Pan Am, it's just,
Tough when
yeah.
When it's glossy there, but do I have the back? Well, you can't see the back, but I won't open it up. But yeah, I just remember finding it in the record store. So I have a bunch of albums up on the wall. But yeah, it's just, and of course the soundtrack is just so phenomenal. The opening with the apes and finding that weapon. Thus spoke Zarathustra, and that's just one of the most iconic. Yeah, just one of the most
Yeah.
iconic soundtracks as well. And just Kubrick is just a genius, and the acting is great. Of course, it deals with AI too, right? Hal, was artificial intelligence gone wrong on that deep space mission to Jupiter, and the ending is something you can all debate about and talk about what really happened or didn't happen. But it's just which is makes the movie even that much better. But if you do watch it, you have this is I'm the boss. You have to put Pink Floyd Echoes on for the last 21 minutes. So oops, I'm banging the camera. But I just posted a YouTube video which ties it together. But Pink Floyd Echoes, they claim they never didn't write that to match up, but it just synchronizes so beautifully that it's just the one. It's even makes the movie even better. So whenever with my friends, whenever we watch that, we put on Pink Floyd Echoes, and it times up perfectly. And yeah, as Professor Artu saying, you've seen it a dozen times, you feel captivated. Yeah, it's one of those movies where you got to watch it at night, obviously lights off, and just watch the movie, and it's just so interesting and so well done. In 2010, I did like too. I saw that in the movie theater. I did like that with Roy. That was Roy Scheider. That was interesting too. So, it's just Arthur C. Clarke. It's just a genius too. With his books and predicting the satellite, and that's when your science fiction writers, when they're actually able to predict the future. It's just it's wonderful. So yeah, just love that movie, and a lot of people haven't seen it. I mean, it's and they've brought it back a few times to see it. Okay, Larry's. Oh, we got to see it in 1968. Wow. But they periodically, I know they brought it back, and I did buy the 4K, the 4K edition, so you can get that in 4K to try to get as close as you can to the film experience. But that's a good one to put the screen up in the backyard on a summer night and watch 2001. Maybe I'll do that this summer. Make the family watch that.
Keely Chow.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. So who hasn't seen Empress MS and what haven't seen it?
Who hasn't seen it?
That's why I'm asking who haven't. Is Empress NM has not seen 2001, or
I
or
don't
referring
know.
to someone else? Yep. But it's okay if you haven't seen it, but it should be on one of those movies you put on your list.
Laurent
But
Dad is very funny.
sometimes we would go.
He's teasing Larry about how old he is. He says, Larry, damn, brother, are you on life support?
By
Because
the way,
Larry
to show
could
this
see
real
them
quick.
in 1968.
Look at that.
Poor Larry. I love you, Larry.
Space Clipper for the movie of the century. This was the year it came out. This is right after it came out. How you like that? You want that that model from Aurora?
That must cost a lot now.
$1.
I'd buy that for $1.
Yeah. I got that for $1.
33 years ahead of its time. Yeah.
Anyway, there you go.
So yeah, just an all-time classic. Of course, some people have said it's boring, but I don't want to associate with those people.
Who are those people anyway?
Well, I mean,
friend.
I'm sure it helps if you're on LSD watching it. Back then, that was the big argument. Back then, people said, "Yeah, I walked out. I don't get it. All it did is had some ice playing for about 2 hours. Then the spaceships were really slow, and then the computer wanted to kill them, and then all of a sudden, like on some acid trip, like they were flying around for like 3 hours in some colors." Then the old man said, "Yeah, go home now. You guys have been here for a couple of days. Get out of here." That's basically the sum up. I'm just saying they were probably. And then this baby was like, "I'm going to be born in space." Where we're going, then it was over. I don't understand it. Jesus Christ, this movie's weird. You guys are on drugs or something. Jesus. I mean, it didn't make no damn sense. I didn't see nobody shooting and blowing up stuff.
Oh my God.
Dang it. And why? There were no dinosaurs or nothing in this. There were no chicks. There were no girls in bikinis. Or no shootouts. John Wayne wasn't even in it. Good God Almighty! This is 1968. What am I? What am I? Some kind of a hippie? I'm watching this dang drug movie.
Rob's here.
Rob Aldis, what's up, buddy? Rob Aldis, what's up, buddy? How you doing there, man? Bubba, that's me, Bubba Clubby. I don't like no movies. I don't like no movies like that. It's 1968. If I can't see John Wayne shooting the piss out of somebody, I don't want to watch it.
I feel attacked, Clobby.
Sorry.
Bubba, no.
Hey, Bubba, I ain't attacking you, Bubba. You my bro. Yeah. There you go.
Bubba,
you got the Ships of the Line calendar.
I did, yeah. Oh, and Larry's got the original 2001 program from '68, full color booklet in widescreen shape. Awesome. All I got was the Ships of the Line. I didn't get anything that cool.
Weren't we talking about calendars the other? You ordered one. I should have ordered that. That's got filth in it, though.
No, it doesn't.
I don't like that one because first it has filth in it, and
Does it have
second of
filth?
all,
No,
the
there's no
inside the calendar is useless.
I used to buy that calendar all the time. Wait a minute, let me just get this real quick. Thank you, RTNZ. You're too kind. Said Bubba Clobby, Southern draw. What's a draw? I don't draw. I don't even have a pencil in my hand. Jesus. Inspired one more movie question. Oh, brother, where art thou? Beautiful film and wonderful soundtrack in my thoughts. As the Coen brothers, I am a man without conviction. That song, I like that song, but I hate George Clooney. I hate George Clooney, but yeah, that was an interesting film. I don't know if anyone else there saw it.
Yeah, I have seen it.
There you go.
I do like that movie. Yes, that's a good movie.
That's the one that has a whole bunch of Chet Atkins in it, right? So obviously,
yes.
I'm gonna like it because Chet and Mark Knopfler, Chet Atkins and Mark Knopfler being together is like being on Mount Olympus on Zeus's lap. I mean, that is like
that's filth right there.
That is just it's so beautiful. Like, can you believe that somebody like Mark Knopfler,
yeah,
existed. Well, he exists still. But Chet Atkins together, the two of them, Chet and Mark together, it's
love Dire
crazy.
Straits. I love Dire
It's
Straits.
crazy that those people were even born. How does that much talent happen inside of a human?
Larry, by the way, thank you, buddy. He gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, Larry.
Holy crap!
I appreciate that. You're too kind, buddy. Jamie Harbert. Here's why this thing is filth, by the way. You just nailed it. Go back to that.
It is. Well, it is landscape, which is weird.
That's filth.
Those calendars are useless. I get them as
I used to
presents
get
all
these-
the time.
This here is filth because that's from P Hard.
No, it's not P Hard. It's
Isn't
Lower
that
Drex.
that space
But I don't-
station or Lower Drex?
Yeah, but it's in.
Okay,
but
it's filth. No excuse.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's you don't have to know that if you've never watched that.
He was soft.
Woo!
One thing I don't like about this is you've got the.
Can you show us
like
more?
the tab? Yeah, I will show you more. The tab is attached to this.
When
so
they
what do you
start
do?
doing
You
that?
cut this off?
Oh,
Like, what do you do? You cut this
they didn't
off,
used
or
to
you?
do that with the calendar.
Yeah, so like you got this extra flap there,
Right.
but if I cut it off, it's going to be worthless someday.
They've
So I'll flip
corrupted
through it.
Don't
The only
cut
one
off
good-
the flap.
And that's nice. That's good art.
That's Romulan, yeah.
I don't know. They did something weird to the front of it, but okay.
It does look a little different there, but I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, I do like the
Is it the
the
filth?
landscape, but it's like, no, that's TNG. Of course,
Something weird about the front of that ship, but yeah, it's good art. Okay.
Completely
Name the
useless
bridge.
calendar. How do you write your doctor's appointment on that? How do you
You
write your
don't. It's
dentist
for
appointment
looks.
on that?
This is just for looks. You just put it on your wall. Completely for looks.
Look, I have them. I get them as gifts all the time. I wish people would stop giving them to me, especially because now they have
Why?
because they have the poo in them now.
Yeah, but
You open it up and look, it's
but
poo.
the TOS calendars don't though. This one
No,
is
the TOS
Enterprise.
calendar, glorious.
This is the Enterprise A bridge. So looks like. I can't tell for sure.
Am I
think it
wrong?
is.
Are RTNZ? See, that's why I asked.
Well, this is Star Trek 6
What
here.
did
So neither
what did
Atkins
Chet
nor
and
Knopfler
Mark
had anything
work
to do
on?
with. Oh, I don't know.
I thought they worked
Brother
on
Mark.
that
No,
soundtrack.
that was the Coen brothers.
Who?
No,
what
that's not a-
film is
oh.
Poor Boy Blues?
That's not a Strange New Worms calendar bridge. That's a Trek 5 bridge.
Trek 6, yep.
5, huh? Or 6. 6.
That's 6, yep, 6, yep.
Okay, this is
Adventure.
Romulans and
The Venture getting
the
destroyed.
Venture. Okay.
RRTNZ, you have to help me with this.
There's
Where
escape
is
pods
Poor
going out
Boy
there.
Blues from? I
Oh,
thought
yeah.
Poor Boy Blues was from that old brother where whatever the
Yeah,
name
but it's
is.
a different group. That's not Mark Knopfler.
It's all
Segment
bluegrass music, according to Professor.
Yeah, it's
I
bluegrass,
was
yeah.
forced to watch it one time because I my friends who made me do it, even though I like the Coen brothers. Okay, I don't like George Clooney, so they made me do it, and I kind of just watched it, but I don't. So it's got some nice music in it. But
So this is pretty. I like this one. It's pretty cool.
let's see.
Although, no,
Now, there
this
you
is
go.
even. This is really good.
That's the big.
The launch, then she'll be ready. It's the refit.
It's the refit.
Enterprise.
Ah, it's in the middle of being worked on. That's cute. I
Yeah.
like that. That's
What
nice.
the
Refit.
heck?
That's the
thought
refit.
that was the.
Hmm? Yeah, Raising Arizona is a great one too. There, Larry.
I want to know. I thought it was on that soundtrack. What the heck?
Man of Constant Sorrow.
Yeah, that's a good song.
Yeah, that's a
Oh
song.
yeah, Man of
Constant Sorrow.
Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one.
But that's not Knopfler.
No, that's the Saggy Bottom Boys. I
Saggy
think.
Bottom Boys.
Yeah.
So Mark Knopfler.
Telling me I have
oh,
a saggy bottom.
I'll think. Oh, when I think Knopfler, I always think about Dire Straits, right?
You got, well, yeah, I'm a massive Dire Straits fan, but I thought
Me
that
too.
Poor Boy Blues was attached to a film. What film am I thinking of? Listen, geeks, this is a nerd crying out for help. What is the film? The
You
Poor
got
Boy
me.
Blues with Mark
What's
Knopfler
that?
and Chet Atkins. They
If only
did
Tom were here, he'd know.
Oh, damn it!
Tom, you out there, dude? Come on over. So
this is in
Soggy
honor of
Bottom
Greg.
Boys, not saggy.
This is what's is that a sovereign class?
Yeah, it's in honor of Greg Jane, who passed last year, who was one of the designers on Star Trek.
Okay, because
That's
that's the Enterprise E's
I think
class.
he designed this this class, and he had one of the
Okay.
most incredible. He had the
I
actual
like the
original
Enterprise
tricorder.
E. That's sovereign, right? I like that.
Sovereign class, yeah. So he had his collection sold last year. I think we were showing parts of it, but it was one of the most unbelievable Star Trek collections.
I got
Greg
you.
Jane. Yep.
Okay, that's nice.
Right,
Yeah, I
Professor
like that
R2?
show, yeah.
I just looked it up and I can't find the connection. And I don't even know what year that came out but I remember that it
Whoa.
was attached to some film and I was
That's why
like,
I bought the calendar.
to hell with the film. I just want the song.
That's worth getting the calendar, even if they got.
That's
crap
why I
in it.
bought the calendar. That's why I bought the calendar.
NSO one
Ooh.
refit cutaway. That's worth it, dude. I'm gonna have to order
That's worth it right
That's
there.
beautiful.
See? Now you
just
can
not
like
look,
me again.
You could just not look at the other shit and just look at that. That's beautiful.
Oh yeah, I love that. Yeah, yeah. Let me grab my do I have my it's hanging out my refit Enterprise.
You got a magnifying glass. Hey, Pop
Here,
Culture Republic.
I will.
Hey there.
I'll zoom in. Yep.
Oh, it's cool.
I love these cutaway posters. So
Wow.
the Enterprise one is
Okay,
beautiful.
so now I want that, but I would definitely just rip it out of the calendar
Yeah.
Oh my
and
God,
burn
rip
the
it
rest
out.
of it.
Yeah, you got to rip it out of the calendar. Well, some of it's there's some this
We're
other
gonna burn
good
the
ones in there.
Enterprise. There's a couple Enterprise.
No, just get rid of it. Just get rid of the whole thing. You just need this.
Yeah, T'Pol's in the captain's chair for some reason. Because Archer's in his office. That's right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I want
That's very
steak.
nice. I love
now
this.
I want steak.
Me too. Damn it, it's too late, but I want some.
T-bones or porterhouses.
This is so cool. I love these cutaway thingies.
Yeah, me too.
You just don't see enough of them because, like, it's.
Sander, where's the bowling alley?
Where are the potties? Why are people obsessed with potties on starships? Just take it. I never need to see them. I never even wonder.
Where?
People always talking about that.
I don't
What are those white thingies? Those white ball thingies?
Those are the potties. That's
Those are the potties.
No, what are they really? Seriously.
I'll look it up. Let's see what number is it.
Those
26?
are docking areas.
No, see, there's a bunch of them in the front.
26 is
No. Look, see the one with
secondary
balls?
computer core. Yeah, I don't know what those are.
They look like ping pong balls.
I got a head like a ping pong ball. I got a head like a ping pong ball.
What is that?
Doesn't say.
That's Camp Caribou. Can you tell how old my child is just by me knowing about Camp Caribou?
I'd have to know what Camp Caribou is first, but
It's like a Canadian kids show for kids that grew up at a certain time.
I know more than I did when I came in here then. This is cool. I bet you could ruin it by turning the page.
And
That's
here's the
catwalk. Where's the catwalk?
Here's the catwalk, right? Well,
I love that episode of the catwalk. I can't wait till we get to Enterprise. I can't wait.
Hello, computer.
Hello, computer.
I must use the lavatory. Please transport it into space.
How quaint.
but the refit is just so beautifully done by Doug
That
Drexler.
is beautiful.
If we got in season 5, that was the rumor that we were going to get this. As refit in between seasons.
It's gonna be a long road.
Perfect evolution. Yeah, it'll be a long road, but perfect evolution of the show there. So yeah, these cutaways are beautiful. I have the cutaway of the Enterprise refit. I think I bought that years ago. I got so many.
It's not weird. Well, it is, but we love Canadians. But we really do. That sagging old rust bucket is designed like a garbage scow. Half the quadrant knows it. That's why they're learning to speak Klingonese.
That is true.
I didn't mean to say that the Enterprise should be hauling garbage. I meant to say that it should be hauled away as garbage. I forgot the line, didn't I? Laddie, don't you think you should rephrase that?
I love that episode.
And
I
yes,
love
low
that scene.
rent dad, that is what you would call it. You would call it a docking port if it is in fact a docking port.
Yes.
But Mark will let us know.
Yep. Oh, and this was illustrated by Christopher Cushman. Primary ship design Doug Drexler. Vehicle reference provided by John
Right.
Eves. Android Monkey Designs and Bill Campbell. Typography reference provided by Mike Okuda. Oh, we don't want to do it anymore. Background assistance provided by David Alexander. I just wish you would stick to Star Trek. But
yeah. Rob Altus, you should be ashamed of yourself, young man.
Oh, and here we go.
7 of 9.
Let's show this too. Crew compartment or crew.
I gotta get this
Let me
now.
zoom in. See what
I used to get these all the time, way before pre-filth, because they were always really cool. But that is nice.
So we've got 140 crew, max crew 150, passenger 6.
Wow, it used to be. It was 80 when it was before the refit.
Before the refit, yep. 4 7-man shuttle pods, 2 matter and conversion transporters, and 34 lifeboats. Yep. And 2 superluminal warp drives, warp 5 in the saucer section, and
So
warp
what
7
is 140?
in the secondary hull.
What's 150 divided by what did you say? 34.
In terms of what?
Just you have
How do
to
you mean?
be
The
thinking.
crew you're
about-
talking? Oh, the crew you're talking?
Yeah. So we'll just go 140 divided by 34. Oh, okay. So then the shuttle pods carry 4 people.
Yep.
All right,
Yeah,
the
mine-
lifeboats.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Lifeboats. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
so fastest speed is warp 7.5, cruising warp 4.5. Emergency cruising 5.5.
Man, that's-
10 phaser cannons, 6 torpedo tubes, 4 pulse cannons, and polarized hull plating. It still does not have shield. Yeah, it never got shields, right? The NX-01.
Not in
They
time.
did hull plating, right?
Still hull plating, I guess.
Yeah.
Shields are not there yet.
They never.
I don't know if you
ended
could
with
go
shield.
warp set. This is the I don't know, because I think I would have written the show differently if we got a fest for 6 seasons. That if you can start going warp 7, you can have shields.
Yeah, they probably would have gotten there.
I would have thought. I would have
I
think.
don't know. I'm now you want.
I mean,
now
that's
you're
that's
making
pretty
me want to buy a
fast.
spec book for Enterprise. And the thing is that I don't know anything about this. As a nerd, I have always relied upon all of my engineering friends to have
Same.
all of this knowledge. But I don't know.
That's going from just pure watching Trek. I'm not an engineer either.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
warp
right.
5
It's
complex.
right.
So the
I'm just thinking
refit was
it would
2156.
seem that way to me.
Right.
Yeah, 34 lifeboats. No.
And 14 decks, not 800 like in Disgracery.
Get out of here.
Yeah, 800. That's so stupid.
All right, well this page I knew would get everyone's attention. I love that.
Yeah, it's a gooder.
And here,
Oh, that's nice.
this is pretty good too. Look, so
Oh,
they went
that's not
very
bad.
they went very
Yeah.
light on the filth on this catalog. I wonder why. I wonder what
There shouldn't be any though.
yeah.
So that's cool.
But you don't
Nice art.
there's no
Nice art.
there's no discovery in this, so
No
and
disgrace.
look,
Yeah,
Canada Day.
Professor R2, that's the thing. You have to tell them, like you have to tell geeks when you're hanging out with them that you're a nerd, and then they're like, "Oh, okay, that's why you don't know anything about."
They never know
film."
the difference. All right, now
No,
what
I
is
think
this
a lot
shit?
of them do.
Us geeks, trust me on one thing: geeks, unless they talk to you, don't. Very few understand the difference. I mean, you'd
But
be
it's all
shocked
over
how
the
few.
internet. It's all
Well,
over the
I'm just-
Discovery
no.
Channel, the internet. It's all over Reddit. Like
Well, I didn't say
everyone's talking-
zero. I didn't say zero, but a lot of them don't.
Oh, anyway.
All right, what
Who's
ship is
talking
this?
about Blue Neck Zathras?
This is
Do you
Nocturna,
want
so-
to be rover?
Oh no!
Would you like me to rover you? Do you want to wake up on a beach? Because you will wake up on a beach. Just push my buttons, Buster.
All right, what ship is that?
Oh.
Sorry.
Jesus Christ! What the hell happened?
I
what ship-
touched the camera.
That
This
was suspicious.
This might be from the Star Trek Online game, but someone
Probably
goggles
from
in
the
the
game.
Nocturna,
Because there's a Constitution class ship there that looks a little.
and it
We
has
need
the two.
Wolfie. That's who we
That has
need.
the two.
We
Has
do.
the two necks there, the double necks. So I think this is from the game. But I think that's a cool ship design. I think it's pretty damn neat. And then this is another version of the Constitution class, I think, that was like an in-between version with the bottom hull was upgraded and it's got the sweat. I think that was
That's probably online. You're probably right.
But I think this was one of the concepts for Star Trek Phase 2. It's not the same ship, of course, but I think one version had kept the round nacelles versus the square nacelles, if memory serves.
Larry, what are you doing? Larry, go to the Agony booth right now. Go to the Agony booth right now, Larry. Larry, I'm so, you know what? I'm not even upset with you, Larry. I'm disappointed in you.
Why, Larry? Why?
Why, Larry? Why?
Why?
I don't know what that ship is in the top right without a blue neck, because there's no neck on that ship.
Agonizer, please.
This is that's Enterprise E. Yeah, E.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that looks like E.
There's a different for the Sovereign class, I believe, right?
It's got a little different looking nacelles there, but that's some cool artwork. I think, is that supposed to be a Borg cube hiding back there?
Could be.
In the ice?
Yeah, held within the ice.
Could be.
That's some cool artwork. I mean, I like the idea of the landscape.
Oh, that's the F. Everyone is like, no, that's the F. That's the F.
Yep.
That means it's the hard crap.
Yeah.
What was the movie too?
That means it's filth.
Yeah, it's poopy stew.
But they had the F in the movies, didn't
finger
they?
painting.
I don't think. Did they have an F?
Yeah, they had the F in the movie.
What movie?
Which movie?
Didn't they have the F in the last movie?
In Nemesis?
No, that was E. It was E.
That's E.
There's an Enterprise FU. Good one.
Yeah.
So is that an F though? I don't know. It looks like it. Yeah, probably.
Gregnor's here.
Star Trek Online. R2 says it's Star Trek Online. Hey, Gwag.
The F, yeah.
Thank you, Professor.
Look, more old stuff.
Hey.
Look, no blue neck.
Good stuff. No blue neck. I like to look at the shuttles. That's pretty. That's not the Enterprise.
Foreign object debris management detail. NCC 1717. Oh, that's my birthday.
Oh, nice.
Double 17s. Yeah.
You should make that ship for yourself.
Say the name of the ship.
No, it doesn't say the name of the ship. You know what's disappointing? In the back, usually they describe each scene.
Right.
In the calendar, and they don't do that in the back.
Well, look up in the far left-hand corner. Object debris management detail.
Yeah, FOD, but
yeah,
but it doesn't say the name of the ship.
Just the mission.
And well, if someone Googles NCC 1717, maybe they could let us know.
Yeah, I'll try
it. Wagner, yes, you do care about this blue neck talk. It's infuriating.
Follow the science.
All right, what the hell?
Yes. Follow your eyes on the show. Look at the model on the show.
This is
from Star Trek Online or something, a Klingon Federation hybrid thingy.
So in late 2279, Starfleet Command abruptly lost contact with the USS Venture, which is where that's the Venture getting attacked here. Earlier in the where's the Venture getting attacked? Of course. So this is the Venture getting attacked here.
1717 might be the Yorktown.
It's the Yorktown.
Nice.
It is the Yorktown.
So
wait a minute. Yeah, but the Yorktown was when it was messed up really bad when it was still had the old nacelles, and then they went and refit it. Oh, that's a comic book, but still.
Yeah.
It's the Yorktown, Professor.
So in 2279, Starfleet Command abruptly lost contact with the USS Venture, Federation starship patrolling the vicinity of Sentinel Minor 4. Despite an extensive search, no trace of the ship was ever found. It was declared missing in action. Official statements by the Imperial Klingon High Command denied any knowledge of the incident at the time, but actually had captured the vessel in a secret cross-border raid. Refit in their own image, the ship was going to serve as a symbol of spite and dishonor against the Federation. Its ultimate fate following the Kittimer Gorge is not known. The rumors of a rogue Federation starship raiding distant outposts persisted well into the 24th century.
Look at those
Star Trek
nacelles.
Online.
Look
Yeah.
at the nacelles.
They got Klingonized.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh.
it's just a fun,
I don't know
crazy design.
I don't know if either one of you want to open that can of worms, but Wag doesn't know about the blue neck thing. He says that nothing to do with rednecks. I don't know if you want to tell him or not.
Well, the Smithsonian, when they were restoring the original Enterprise model, they did a spectrographic analysis and uncovered some blue paint on the neck, and Raquel did not take kindly to that.
The
neck of the
connecting from
Enterprise.
the saucer, but from the primary hull to the secondary.
If you goggle it, you can see the colors of one version. Allegedly, I don't want to get Shin kicked out of existence.
One model. One of the models.
Had a blue
That
neck.
was an old model. It was an old one from the.
Well, they went through the different layers of the paint, so they found had a slight blue on the neck, and Raquel was not happy with it. Right?
Like
Raquel?
seriously, like I'm gonna need high blood pressure medication. The Enterprise is one color.
That was just a model. Doesn't mean the show. It was supposed to have a blue neck. That was some kind of, I don't know how that even happened, but it was like rigged up with a blue thingy that they put it, but it never was on the show.
No,
but anyway,
that's my point. And
yeah, no, we got you.
Didn't we find a picture with a blue neck?
Oh.
Yeah, because it was there was one, but it was a model that one of the models. The model, it wasn't on the show. So in other words,
that is correct. It's like popcorn going off inside of your skull. It's just, I just want to shake.
But it was a lovely shade of
shake, Mark. Shake up.
And this one's not so good, but it's okay.
What ship is this?
U.S. Nomadic.
All right.
Nomadic. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's.
I think that's from Deep Space Nine or something. Look at that. That's from
NCC 76890.
One of the ships that fought in the Dominion War sometime.
I don't know. It's an ambassador.
It could be another one. It could be another one of those Star Trek Online ships. There are a lot of those.
So here's the catalog. So catalog, the back calendar. But normally they have they'll tell you what each thing is. They just give you the artist here, but they don't tell you Bridge from Star Trek V or.
Yeah, they need to give
you. It's very filth light, though. I have to say. I mean,
filth light's not good enough. There should be no filth ever.
Exactly. I mean, like when you're considering bringing something in your home, you can't say to yourself, "Well, it just has a little shit on it."
West Kegel. But not only that, in all serious, and also from a serious standpoint, they're not supposed to be mixing that up because of the differences between Paramount and CBS licensing, and they're not supposed to mix merch like that either because. There's something like a legal thing. There's supposed to be 25% difference and all this other kind of shit. So
I think this is the only new Star Trek.
Mark,
it's on
who
a
made
show.
that
I
one?
think it's filth. I think, to be honest, I think instead of it being filth, I think it's from Star Trek Online.
Yeah,
because and so
that would be the only way for it to be legal. Mark, who made that calendar? Can you please tell me, my friend?
This is published by Universe Publishing Division of Riazi International. Let's see.
Trademark.
Not telling. Hey there. He said it's not. I'm not sure what it's not.
Universe Publishing.
Saying it's not. I'm not sure what it's not, but it's not.
Star Trek and related marks or logos or trademarks of CBS Studios. Yeah, this is done with permission. This must be from the game.
Well, the game is licensed too, obviously. Yeah.
West and not telling. I'm not telling.
Hello, not telling. What are you not telling us? And it says it's not. And it says that. Pop Culture Republic says, was there any point in Star Trek canon that said why the nacelles had to be put on pylons like that? Well, it looks neat. They've always been targets for enemy attacks. I don't think that. No, I mean, I don't think it's ever been talked about. But
it's to generate the warp field, the warp bubble.
Oh, he says it's not. Okay, hold on. Thank you, not telling us. It's
That's
not
good.
from Star Trek Online. Double checking.
So how did they manage to get all these mixed licenses?
It could be art. No, could be. It's just art that they're finding of people drawing
Where
ships.
did they get the permission?
It's not from filth so much. It's just art from someone drawing different ships' interpretations. That's what I think. But anyway, I forgot about this one from Oliver. He said, Bobby, Mark, Raquel, have you tried to create a rated tier list
of the many love interests of Captain Kirk in the Star Trek original series of films? No, because we're not
No.
chicks. Except
because I don't care.
In all seriousness, Oliver, none never even occurred to me. I hope that's not disappointing for you now, but yeah, the love interest. Now, look, as long as Kirk's getting him a little fun every now and then, I'm happy for him.
Yes, but I'm not interested. Like I don't think about it. Like,
but the captain, like James Bond, the captain should get some sometimes. Right? Yeah, let him have some fun. Like, I mean, it's good to be the captain.
Yeah,
be the captain.
Mars Monkey Max.
You have many. Oh, come on now, my friend Bubba Kirk. One time, in fact, back in like the 80s, one of these, I don't know what you call like Puritan or like one of these people was whining to us. We were having a conversation, argument, but a buddy of mine were arguing with some dude, or I think it was a dude, I don't know, that Kirk had too many had too many, dalliances.
Get out of here.
And we were saying, no, we didn't have that. It was every week. It wasn't every week. So we counted them up. We were staying in because we already knew all the episodes, And we said we came up with about like 20 something, like 20 different times for various. And we both said, that's a good number. That's fair. That's fair. What's wrong with that? James Bond did it in every movie like 5 times.
Plus, it's not what drives the story.
No, but we were being guys. We were just like, more importantly, we were refuting the false criticism that he did it every week, which is not true.
Yeah, maybe
when he did it,
maybe certain people wanted it to happen every week. I mean, have you looked at Marlena?
I mean, look. Oh yeah, but we're also saying, what's wrong with that, dude? Hey, man, we got
yeah.
It's good to be the captain, man. Yeah,
yeah.
What are you going to whine about James Bond?
Well, not only that, guys in the military, whenever they go to a port, it's not like, they're walking around with a penny between their knees. I mean, sailors are notorious for getting themselves in trouble with ladies and wine, women, and song,
Oh, Gwag, that you're good.
He knows. He's not actually sorry.
Have
he's
blue
funny.
paint on it at some point doesn't mean that it's an automatically official candidate. This shit was blue. I have lost faith in all humanity. Come on now, Gwag.
Gwag, I love you, man. I freaking love you so much.
I never saw it as womanizing, says Rob. I don't either. Man, look, he was a single man.
I want to be womanized. Get out of here.
Yeah. He was just, SP4S. Now I'm just going to go play some STO.
Oh,
there you go.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah,
good.
Good game. I haven't played it in a long time.
And crabs.
Kirk only had like 3. Yeah, there were only a few serious ones.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, the other ones were just, hey, Kirk being the man.
And
us guys loved him for
a
it.
long time. Like
we used to make fun of Picard because he was never got any.
Well, that's because he had to have a meeting. He had to hold a conference just to go to the bathroom. Like the guy, like Poopy Stew is the most pathetic captain. People are like, he's my captain. Whatever. Get out of here.
In fact, none of them were like ladies' man. Like, even Archer didn't do it, but he was like more prone. At least he wasn't like a player or anything either. But still, he was single and he was more of a man than those other ones.
Yeah, and he also dated laterally. Like when he got his hubba on, he Anyway.
Yeah,
but there are no bathrooms. Mars Monkey Max, go to the Agony booth right now. Take yourself and your shadow to the Agony booth right now, Mars Monkey Max.
All right, I'll go ahead and tell you why, Mar. If you must know, there are no bathrooms because they've solved the necessity to have to go in that century. There are no bathrooms because when they eat, they've got these little nanobot thingies in their stomach that the energy is drawn from the food that it incinerates them and it dissipates the energy and it just floats out as it goes out as
I prefer Larry's answer. Larry's answer was that it just instantly transports to space.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And it's
but it's something inside of them, right?
Oh, they could just be transporting it. Well, remember, by the way, that's not really accurate. They had a poop question on Enterprise. Remember, they were taking questions from from school kids about what is done with waste.
Mm-hmm.
And Trip, it was great. Trip had to answer it, and they were on the Enterprise recording the message. And he says, "A poop question, sir." Remember that? Man, we're just bumming ourselves out because we can't wait to get to Enterprise.
But I mean, everyone knows, like if you know TOS, everyone knows that the questions of energy, the thing that hampers us currently is solving the energy needs of a project like that. And so it's super important for folks to know that everything requires reclamation. So that would be the skin flakes that you put in the air on the ship, and the dust that lands, and those are little microfibers from your clothes, you dandruff, the skin you've sloughed, that the stuff that goes in your nose when you're breathing, that is reclaimed in space. So is your elimination and defecation. It's all reclaimed. All energy is reclaimed, and that circular process is a part of what makes that process plausible, because we solve those scientific questions. It's not the Love Boat where they just open up a hatch and out goes all the poop and it lands on a planet. That's not no.
If anyone ever talks about poop again, this is what's going to happen.
Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Guys! Oh shit! You and your poop question.
Sheet. Well, I did ask in school when I was like in grammar school. I did ask in school. I said to one of my teachers, and I was in third grade. I'm like, we're doing. It was in studying religion or studying ancient times, and I said they didn't have paper back then. What did they use to wipe?
Oh my God! What did I just say,
Mark?
God damn it, Mark!
I just got to say that no more.
Can we please Paul Foster Mark? Just Paul Foster him just one time.
Why did you have to? Oh, yeah, that's true.
Crazy.
Ouch.
Crazy.
Oh my goodness! I mean, you got what in the hell's going on here?
I can't.
It's because you're a dumbass.
Double dumbass on you!
Get those nerds!
Nerds!
What?
Everything that guy just says is bullshit.
Cass, Super Cass.
Brain and brain. What is brain?
It is green.
No bloody A, B, C, or D.
Oh my! Where were we?
Talking about the blue neck on the Enterprise.
God damn it, Mark!
Oh my goodness, that's just awful.
Oh,
Oh,
so bad.
Mark, one more of these.
Good. Bad. I'm the guy with the gun.
Kill him!
Superman.
You're a dumbass.
Double dumbass on you!
My
I
clip's
can't
been weaponized against me.
God.
Oh, wowzer. Oh, man. Well, we'll
Rex
start.
says, looks like we're going to have to stop reviewing Voyager if we're no longer allowed to talk about shit.
Good. Gwag wins the internet tonight. Well done, Gwaggy.
West, yes, there would definitely be an element of reclamation for sure, because that would never be allowed. You would never be allowed to just send your poop into space. Gene Roddenberry wouldn't have it.
Oh my
It was
God.
really about it was really about capturing the spirit of NASA. What was happening in 1969? We touched down. We it was really about making it as realistic as possible, and it was the unglamorous part of the show that no one talked about, but was definitely an issue. And I'm certain that Gene would have answered many questions on it, because it would not be dumping like a cruise ship. That's just not something you would. That's just precious energy you would not want to dispense with.
What are you doing?
We got to get off the subject.
Mars Monkey Max.
What? What happened? It's not blue, it's pewter in orbit. It would be the ultimate floater. Wow.
Pop Culture Republic, that's actually a few people have been talking about what's going on in the moon, and it needs to be solved immediately. Because that there are, according to many reports that I have read, that it is a growing issue that there's garbage up there, and so where there are humans, there is garbage, and garbage needs to be solved. Certainly, we don't want the moon turning into just like a giant waste dump that's filled with a whole bunch of bags of astronaut shit. So yeah, we definitely need to get our act together and make it clean, like Gene Roddenberry imagined. Yeah, I just
We need Quark.
Pardon?
We need to remember. Anyone remember the TV show Quark with Richard Benjamin and the twins?
Yeah, Quark was a sanitation ship.
Sanitation.
It had the Roddenberry bush.
Yeah, like a sanitation ship. That would definitely work, but we have to do something, because according to the article that I read, there are literally like bags of shit up there, and that's not cool.
How'd they get there?
We're not going camping. Like, you can't just envelop your feces in a plastic.
How did they get there?
Just let's look it up.
They just shot him there?
Just look at poop on the moon. Hold on.
Wow, really? Oh my God.
Poop on the moon. Sorry.
Oh my. Well. So are we ready to or do you really want to look that up?
Oh yes, there's so there is an article in Science Focus, where and why is there poop on the moon, which is a BBC Science Focus magazine. There is also an article in lifescience.com about Neil Armstrong's poo, and then of course there is a vox.com article speaking directly about the Apollo 11 poo. So there you have it.
There couldn't be that much. They weren't even there that long. I mean, come on.
Well, Americans aren't the only people who've been to the moon.
Parker Luck. So, do any of you guys and gals happen to have a copy of the Star Trek Encyclopedia? I do. In any formats at all, right beside me, I have the 1999 edition. That's one I have. I have that in a paperback. And number one has one too.
Yes, I do. I do.
So, yes, sir. Got it.
I forget which year mine is, and it's behind me. I would need to look it up. Oh, Clobby, you would love this article at Vox.com. The Apollo astronauts left their poop on the moon. We got to go back for that shit. That's the exact headline. No. That's the headline. It's written by...
Agonizer, please.
Oh, my God.
We're going to make you watch Dumb and Dumber now, Raquel.
No, I don't want to. Okay, so let's go. Who's been on the moon? Who's been
According to some people I know, they think no one has. I know people. I know people that believe that no one has.
I thought China and Russia had done something there.
I mean, they believe that we didn't make it.
Not
It's
like
all
I'm
made
up
up.
on it.
There are people that believe it's made up. that we
Yeah,
didn't
I
make it.
know. Those people are insane, and
I
they
happen to know
belong in
some-
an "I love me" jacket.
I happen to know some of them.
Oh God, are you serious?
I happen to have gotten into an argument with a flat earther the other day.
Holy
in
crap!
in person, somebody I know personally.
So it's 12 people so far, according to space.com. And I thought that is it all Americans? I think it is all Americans.
Only Americans.
Yeah. Well, didn't China just recently touch down? I don't know.
No,
Yeah,
no.
I think they missed it. They were trying to find it. They couldn't find it.
All unmanned missions, yeah.
Those are unmanned. Oh, okay, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Yeah, because
We
as
have
of
only
22,
12
it's
people on the moon.
Unwomaned too.
Yep. One woman? Not
Unwomaned.
according to this.
I said they were unwomaned.
Unwomaned. Oh,
Yeah.
get out of here, Clobby. I'm going to kick you in the shins. Yeah. Neil, Buzz, Charles, Alan, Edgar, David, James, John,
Yeah.
Charles, Eugene, and Harrison. I love America. Thank you, America. I love you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Vulcan Lives, for being here. Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night. Yes, indeed. Actually, the humans live on the moon, so a lot of people have been there.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's an
Richards has been
issue
there.
that quite a few people are talking about, going back and getting our shit off the moon.
There you go. Wow. I mean, it's not that important. There've been like 13 people. They make it sound like it's like infested or something. And it's probably out in space now anyway.
I'm very hopeful. Like that's why I'm not hard and fast on my facts anymore, because I'm very hopeful. Like I keep reading all these futurism articles about, soon people will be able to travel there, and you're just getting so hopeful, and people talking about building structures that can, sustain human life. It's exciting stuff. I mean, we're right at that point where, like, do you remember right before Gene Roddenberry died, people were asking like, I think someone asked him one time, do you want to live forever? And he basically said, well, yeah, kind of. But he quickly qualified it. And he said, but not for the reasons other people want to live. I'm not afraid of dying, but I want to see what happens. He very passionately said, I want to see what happens. And so here we are again on the cusp of doing something really big again. And I hope that we'll all be alive to see the next thing that's going to happen. I think it's going to be really, really cool.
There you go. Well, number one, it's been been a lot of fun, but I know you're probably going to, as a school night.
It is a school night.
Unless you have any more else to add, you want to just give us your closing words?
I won't keep any. I won't keep everyone. I just want to thank everyone for being here tonight. Thank you for the marvelous conversation. My God, you guys made me laugh so hard. I was practically in tears. You are all so wonderful. So thank you for everyone who joined us tonight. I also want to thank all of the wrenches. Thank you for all the hard work that you do in this community. Building these friendships, making sure people feel welcome, helping people get to the information they need to get to, and of course, supporting us. I also want to give a shout out to Mark, because Mark is such an amazing person. I mean, engineers, they love to change things, including Mark wanting to make the neck on the Enterprise blue. I love him, but he needs to be shin kicked often. And I would also like to thank the captain. Captain, my captain, I love you so much. Thank you so much for having me here tonight. I'm honored. I'm always honored to be here and to share in these fun times with you. I had a terrific time tonight. So thank you, boss.
Thank you. Love you. And if you will indulge me, number one, we haven't done this in a while. And I want to tell everyone, every now and then, of course, we like to talk about, of course, the things that number one does for here. And we need to do more for her. We all do. She's got a book coming out pretty soon. Another one, right?
Am I
Oh
right?
my gosh, Clobby. Yes, I have another book coming out.
I think we should show everybody. Every now and then we should show everybody your trailer for your next book, if you will.
Oh my goodness. Thank you.
Oops. Oop, wrong one. Wrong thing on there. Here we go. All right, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that. Wonderful, wonderful.
No, that's incredibly kind of you. Thank you so
there's nothing
much.
to it.
I really appreciate that.
Nothing to it at all.
Just so you know, Clobby, the book is still with my editor, who was also my former professor, a friend of mine who I love very much. The book is still with him at this time, but as soon as I hear back from him, and if he wants me to make changes or he finds typos or anything like that, as soon as I get those executed, we're going to press. We're going to press.
Nice. Excellent. Excellent indeed. So anything else you want to tell everybody? Or?
No, I don't want to suck up all the time here on the show. I just want to thank all my patrons. I love you all so much, and thank you, everyone. And like I said, thank you for spending time with me and for sharing your ideas with me and for just being marvelous human beings. It's really like when I come here, it's like stepping into a room full of people who are just the most amazing people. In every corner of the room is another friend with marvelous ideas and great jokes and just wonderful thoughts. And so thank you, everyone.
No, thank you. We appreciate you. Everyone appreciates you. And they are amazing. They are an amazing group, that's for sure. So, Marco, anything to tell us?
Oh, well, just looking forward to Sunday Night Geekery, and God, it was great hanging out with everyone tonight, and yeah, we had a lot of fun, and yes, the Enterprise does not have a blue neck. Just kidding, but no, everyone go out and support Raquel and buy her book, and if you can, just follow her on Patreon as well. You don't have to; you can just do a follow. So let me put that link in there.
Pre-order not yet, right? Soon.
Larry,
not ready for pre-order yet, or no?
Larry, I'm not ready for pre-order, but I can tell you this: you have been an incredibly generous supporter of me for through this entire journey, and so I just want you to know that you will be receiving a signed copy from me to your home. I have your address, so You can't say no. And I just love you and thank you for everything that you've done for me. But you will be the first, and it will be arriving to your doorstep from me. And I love you. Thank you for everything you've done for me.
Love you, love you. And okay, show notes and shout outs, folks. Of course, where are we? Friday, right? Okay. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Canadian time, because the two of my Canadian buddies on their Canadian channel, the great J-Man and the great Sean and I, Sean and I will be doing our Friday night Frank Miller comics reviews, reviewing Frank Miller's classic Daredevil run. 3 more issues of that, loving it, having a lot of fun. Then later I'll be on with my good buddy Nick Weiser's channel with the Friday Night Comic Shop Boys, 8:30 Central Standard Time. And then we'll be right back here, same track time, 9 p.m. Central, same Clobby channel for Saturday Night Star Trek #1. And I will be here with 4 more scintillating episodes to review of Star Trek Voyager Season 5. So we have a great time doing that. Please join us. You will not be sorry. We have a lot of fun. Let's see. Then, of course, as Mark mentioned, the Geekery on Sunday Night Geekery on 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on his great channel, the great Mark D with the C's channel. Please, if you have not already, he's got the link in there. Please go follow his channel and hang out with us if you want to finish your week off as a geek. We do it for you there. We have a lot of fun just talking basic stuff and even some eatery. So
he also is selling a killer cornucopia. Wink, wink, nod, nod. You know what I'm talking about. Elbow, elbow, everyone. It's the Doomsday Machine, and it's absolutely beautiful. And he also makes a copy of the Liberator. So you really need to go and check out Mark's stuff. He's making some really amazing stuff that there is absolutely no way you would be able to get this stuff in stores. This guy is not only talented, but he has an ear to the ground for super geeks, the super esoteric stuff. And wow, the products are amazing. And yeah, get a hold of him, get that done. You won't be sorry.
So let's see, where were I? Monday night, I'll be back at Sean with Sean and on J-Man's channel again, 7 p.m. Eastern for our Legion of Superheroes reviews. It's a lot of fun reviewing all of Silver Age and Bronze Age Legion. It's going to be a while to get through it all, having a great time doing that. And then, this is going to be a rough one here. Monday night Marks and Comics Hawk, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. My great buddy Ace Cast Iron will be joining me to review the Death of Superboy saga from the 80s, something that is just tears me up inside and affects me deeply in my soul as it does him. And I just reread it again the other night for the first time in like 30-something years, and it's brutal. We're going to review it and fairly. I'm going to be guarding my emotions on that. But anyway, Tuesday and Thursday nights, of course, over with the great Tom Connors with the Midnight's Edge after Dark Crew. And 7 p.m. on Wednesday nights at the at Loki's Comic Book Roundtable. And then I'll be here for Wednesday night, the great Retro Blasting gentleman, Michael French, my good buddy Michael French, will be joining me for another CLOBBERIN Times Retro Blasting team up. He's a big Superman fan, and it's still Superman month at that point. We're going to be talking all things soups, movies, and stuff. And then a special show next Thursday afternoon, 4 p.m. Central, Superman Birthday Bash. It's February the 29th. You don't get very many February 29th these days. You only get them once every 4 years. And so we're going to have a little Superman celebration, Minimus and myself, and who else? Some other Superman fans if they choose to ask to join us. And then, of course, we'll be right back here next week for some more Clubhouse, another Blake 7 review, and something else. So thank you all for being here with us tonight. Really appreciate it. I'll just shout you out real quick. Shout out Riches, Eric K, Chris Persia, D. Bud Martin, Lord Thoth, J Man, Maddie's Daddy, Stephen Callell, Fatty Outsidey, Hungry Boy, Vaxel Redstone, Larry. And let's see, anybody else who was here with us tonight? Bubba Doom 1, thank you, sir. Captain Finity, Tetrarch of Apathy, Wes Cagle, Rob Altus, Oliver Belamonte, Don Ranger, Power Zathras, Rob Altus, MMM, Mars, Monkey Max, Pop Culture Republic, SP4H. Let's see, anybody else who was here? Whole bunch of people here. Hello there to Dalu was here. Is that how you say the name? Zathras was here. Let's see here. Who else was here? Daniel Link was here. Adrian James was here. Claude Selling was here. 100% M. Vulcan Liz. A whole bunch of them were here. So many that it's impossible to backtrack all of you tonight. Parker, Luck. We'll get everybody more thoroughly shouted out on Saturday night. But just big thanks to all of you who did show up and hang out with us tonight. Really do appreciate that. You're always, anyone who lurked or watched on a download or a rewatch, I cannot thank you enough. Please just accept my sincere appreciation for all of you. It's just too kind. And Sandra Hammerslag was also here with us. What a great group. Wagnar, buddy. Man, I can't remember everybody. And the chat's so messed up, it's so screwy. Professor R2 was here. I think Fiona was here. Penny was here. And JT Kirk was here. What a great group. Not Telling, a new friend, Not Telling was here. We had a lot of new friends pop in tonight too, which is amazing. So that's pretty good. Let's see here. I can't remember all of them. And then if any of you two can remember any of them, let me know. I know it's been a while. Tetrarch of Apathy was here. And then Low Rent Dad was here.
Yeah, that's the one that we were gonna that I thought we were gonna miss. A Low Rent Dad. He was hysterical tonight, and so was the new fellow Dalu. And did we get Emperor Zenem?
Emperor Zenem, I did. RT and Z, Ravenscroft, old friends are here.
I think that's everyone, right? And Fee was here, but you already called her out.
Fee was here. Yeah, we got there's
Pop was here. West was here. I think you got them all, boss. But you know, if you really want to know if you got them all, you have to ask Mark, because Mark's like, my spider senses are tingling.
Yeah, I came close, but you never know. There's always going to be somebody like Jamie Harbert was here. Some people just say hello. And
people sneaking at the show, right? Yep.
Minimus.
Sometimes. Was he?
Yeah, Minimus was here. And also Seymour Butts.
Seymour Butts was here. Really? I haven't seen that one. I haven't seen Keely Chow was here. See? You can't forget Keely Chow. I mean, you can if you want to, but we like him, so don't forget him. Courtney was here, remember?
Yeah, Courtney was here.
Walked into the room, told everyone that she loved everyone, and stayed and visited, and then left. Like, what a sweetheart.
Oh, yep, Tex was here, the great 1701 Tex.
Oh, yeah, Tex.
Yeah. I can remember some, but obviously can't remember everybody off the top of your head.
Okay, Mark, are your spider senses tingling?
Well, we always miss. I mean, just
someone.
Yeah.
Somebody.
Use your spider powers.
Apollonie's minion was here.
Oh yes, and the pepperoni.
Yep. And
the pepperoni was here.
A beautiful picture.
And that beautiful picture she made.
Yep.
We almost. I'm gonna be sure now, everybody. Oh, Me and My Monkey was here. See,
that is such a cool name. And did we get SP4H?
I did. I got SP. Yes, indeed.
I don't know.
Did I get Oliver Belamonte? Well, I got him now. So yes, I did.
The Heartbreaker, the Woke Breaker.
Woke Breaker, what is up? I think DJ Play Nice was here as well.
Yes, Rock.
Yeah, Max Redstone was here.
Yep, Maximum Redstone.
Grim was here.
Grim.
I already said Max Redstone. That's right, because I called
Minimus wants Mark to tingle now.
To tingle? Or you sure didn't say tinkle?
No pee and poo in the same broadcast, Captain.
I'm embarrassed. Let's see here. Almost there. Michael Beacom.
Monkey Max.
Michael Beacom was here.
And Michael and Cassandra Beacom were here.
Shout out to Cassandra and Michael.
And RRT dead.
Yep, I got R to RR.
And
thank
Mary,
you, RR.
Larry, and RRTNZ and Michael Beacom all left you gifts tonight, too. So
Yeah.
thank you for the gifts.
My buddy Project Storytime popped in to say hello.
Yeah, Project Storytime was here. I forgot
Yeah,
about that.
was here. That's right. And then we got almost there. Stay on target. Almost there. Close.
Emperor's in him, but where does it go?
John Rupa Shaggy. Shaggy was here.
Yeah, Reggie.
Oh, Sean Carter was here. You know. Sean Carter was here.
Sean Carter from Mars.
And
so was
Darth.
Finity.
Darth was here. I shouted out Finity. Captain Finity was here.
And Darth, yeah.
And Darth, yes. And Adrian James. Oh, the lovely Sherry was here. Yay, Sherry.
The lovely Sherry Lemon Pie.
Lemon Pie was here. You are correct, sir. Ding, Mazarus was here.
Nays.
Blue moon. Okay, so now I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I'm confident now, that aside from Dave C, of course, which makes sense.
Dave!
That I've gotten everybody other than Joe Dog. That just makes obviously not, except for Joe Dog. Joe Dog. Go. Then Taylor Swift, of course, was here. Not the real Taylor Swift. A way better Taylor Swift, by the way. Swift than what's her face? The real one. He's way better than
what's her dinkle.
Daniel Link. Yeah, better than what's her dinkle. Kansas City Chiefs girl. No offense to my Chiefs fans. And so now I'm confident.
And no offense to any dinkles.
None at all. And FK8C 2005, Tim, and that's it. Got them all. Boom. I hope I got everybody. Yep.
Did we get everyone? Are your spider senses tingling, Mark?
Got them.
I think we got everyone.
Okay.
Good night, everybody. Thank you, and have a marvelous weekend. Clobber on, clobbers.
Superman.
Groovy.
Good. Bad. I'm the guy with the gun.
I just love clobbering time.